That was just very fitting to this week. Just very fitting to like everything. The microphone is like kind of low. Oh boy, it dropped. And um I can't change that, and I'm speaking quite low, and I cannot believe that just happened. I cannot believe that just happened. On top of everything else, literally was talking about how I'm feeling insecure. I'm having like a week of feeling l- discombobulated, insecure, like I don't feel good emotionally. I feel like in my head or whatever. And suddenly the life just like stopped because of I don't understand internet issues that shouldn't be happening. Anyways, and I don't know how to make this louder. And it's so weird. Usually you have usually you can control that, but anyways, so yeah, well, here we are with part 2. um yeah, I don't even know. I don't know. I feel very odd today. I yeah, I don't know. Hi, Maria. Welcome. And thank you. Okay. It just looks like it's really low. Hi, Hernando. Um, yeah, welcome, everyone. Hi, Maria. I'm low energy today. I'm kind of like on the verge of like crying, but not. I don't know. I just feel, oh my gosh, wait, I need to show you my dog. Oh my goodness, so cute. Oh, I can't, darn it. I'll take a picture. Um, but hi, Angel. It's been a while since everyone's been here. It's been such an odd week. Such an odd week. Of course, like that's when I'm trying to take a picture, she's like looking at me. I don't know if this is a cute dog to everyone, but I think she's like just like really funny how she's like just sleepy. How is everyone? Um how happy Friday. How has your week been? Oh my gosh. This is going to be an interesting live. Maybe I'll like pick up, but I just feel super self. Like when you're self-conscious and you're like just you feel it in your body. You just feel like, "Oh my gosh, I can't do anything right now." I'm feeling more like I just wanna, like that kind of Homer Simpson, is that the guy's name? Um, like the meme where he goes into the bushes, that's how I feel. I'm like, "Can I just, like, sink into the bushes today?" Oh, I had a depressing day. Oh, I'm so sorry. It seems like we're kind of in the same boat, but hopefully not much worse. I don't feel like anything like terrible happened to me, but it seems like yeah, like my life literally just like ended for the first time ever. Just poof, it just stopped. I was out with my neighbors, and I was informed we won't do Zumba on Sunday. I mean, I can still go. So these are like stupid things, but like I thought this weekend was going to be super social and super fun, and like the live was going to be like super fun and all this. I don't know. And then the other part is I've been trying to like tackle my to-do list. Again, this sounds so stupid. You probably have had like worse issues today than this stupid stuff, but it feels like that kind of same sentiment where like nothing went like I expected it to go, or like it should, or like it some in some way it didn't go anywhere either. Oh, the other Maria has had an awesome week. Wait, you want another good jackpot? What? Wait, what? Um, and Arnaldo, you also had a really good week. Shop in your Amazon link, but some didn't show products. Um, oh, I think I just looked. I don't understand the Amazon situation because I am not like an influencer. I don't have that status because I have like what 132 people, or sometimes it goes down to 129. It keeps fluctuating. When I was trying to apply for, there's like two different Amazon things. One is you have just the links, and then you can post them like I post them, or share them on or whatever. And but in that way, like, people need to like click on it, add it, and buy it for it to like come up, I think, to like give me what do you call that, uh, commission or whatever. And then the influencer one. This is one of those things, the classic, like, people with money will get money, and people who don't have money will get money taken away. Like, the irony, one of those ironies of life, because influencers who already have, ad revenue and all this other type of revenue, only they are able to get the special treatment on Amazon to um, have their own store on Amazon, like you've probably seen many people have. And then if like someone watches their video or whatever, and they click on that link, or even if they don't click on that link, but they like open another window up and they type in exactly that product that was on the video. This is how crazy internet is. Amazon recognizes that and then links the commission for that product, whether they buy it then or they buy it like a month later or whatever, to the influencer. That is not what I have. So I guess I can show you um, this, but that's exciting. It's just like not so exciting on my end. Maybe it just hasn't showed out. Maybe it'll show up. Um, so like probably I don't know if it's like all of you guys, or like who, I don't know who has these clicks. My family, I don't know. But this is not earnings. This is just clicks, and then there's like zero earnings because probably whoever clicked added it to the cart, and then kept adding other things, or like went away, came back, and then yeah. Or maybe they just didn't even add it to the cart. So that's, yeah, that's exciting, but also, and this doesn't have anything to do with me or you. It's just like frustrating because Amazon, you do not need to like hold any more money. I think, yeah, that's ridiculous. And again, like, it's those things like rich people don't need more money. So the poor people need more money. Why is this the irony that, like, not saying that everyone who's like monetized is rich, but definitely I think they are a lot more richer than I am because they're getting something. So you're gambling, yeah. I don't know, you're winning a lot. Um no, I think last Friday or Monday, one of the lives you mentioned that you won. Um and yeah, congratulations. That's awesome. Um, which brush did you buy? Was it the wet whatever? I don't even remember what I put on there. Because I wanted to get one, and I didn't know if I should get one through Amazon or through like local. The wet brush, yeah, yeah, I love it. I have the pink one, and I wanted to get the teal one that I think I put on my website, and because I like teal and I like pink too, but just change it up. It is really good. Yeah. Oh, Okay, this is not this is not an ad, I don't know, but speaking of hair and stuff, because I have a lot of hair issues. I For someone without money, I can't believe I spend this much money. But because even with the wet brush lately, I used to not have this issue. And I don't know if I'm kind of praying that I'm not entering menopause, because then I would really be upset at the years wasted. The past years wasted. Because I want kids. I don't want to like not be able to have kids. But anyways, I don't know if it's hormones or if it's like just the product or whatever. But my hair, even with the wet brush, which the wet brush, the one that I have on the website, that one is just like phenomenal as far as like it when you're brushing your hair wet or not wet, like it doesn't tangle, it doesn't like rip out hair or whatever. It's like just I don't know, one of the miracle workers. Excuse me. And yet I've not lately in the past like few weeks, I've not been able to do that. Even today, I like got not even halfway, like halfway down my head, and I couldn't. So I decided to try this, not this particular shampoo, but Act and Acre. I don't know if you guys have heard of this. This is so maybe stupid and who cares. I don't like their website because this is things. So you can't just search like what are the shampoos and what are the conditioners and what are the treatments. Ooh, sold out. Um, I'll let you know how this goes. I'll let you know how this goes. I got the salicylic acid scalp exfoliator because I definitely need that. And then, because that might also be why my hair has been falling more. There's a lot of buildup. And I also found out that I have hard water in this area, and I didn't know, but that can be the reason why my hair can, why I might have buildup, and also why my hair might be like not, it's kind of shiny, but it's like kind of a lot frizzy or looking just a mop. So, yeah, I bought all three. I have dry scalp really bad. Ooh, I have the opposite. Um, yeah, you just asked. I didn't know. I didn't know. But like this region, they have like this map on here, and I know with pros, I tried pros, it never worked. Their products never worked. And the one scent that I absolutely found like magical, they discontinued. So I'm like, there's no reason for me to buy from pros. Um, I think they have like such a great idea, but I don't know that they're living up to their idea and their marketing. But yeah, so they also said that there's hard water. Yeah, filters. They're coming up with a filter. Do you have a filter that you recommend? Do you have like the filter in your water system in your house, or like shower head filter? And obviously, like the faucet filter. Because yeah, they have one too. Um, but it's like up and coming. It's not released yet or something. I have this. It's quite a lot. But I'm not gonna lie, and yeah, I am. I'm I'm not well off financially to like spend on this, but in like this new chapter, I'm like putting myself not first. I'm not being considerate of others or whatever, but I'm definitely like putting my health first over spending on like chocolate. I'll rather like buy something like this. Um, cause yeah, just I don't know if it would like help, but you're saying that it helps you. So water system alpha, they're amazing. Yeah. I don't think my family is going to go for that. They are very low budget at the moment. But I'll look it up and see. Um, is it sorry? Is it this here? Alpha Pure? I'm like 99% awesome. I'll share, but I'm 99% sure that they won't go for it because they are like, "Oh, we have great water here." Just like we don't have mold in our house. It's just one of those like, yeah, just put blinders on because we can't afford it or whatever. It's, different values. My value system right now is like health and like today for example, so let me share a little bit about today. This week, tomorrow. Welcome, ADHD. Tomorrow I can finally repurchase my Google Workspace for my attachment style coaching business or relationship coaching business, whatever. And so I should have been working on redoing the website, but I think just like my brain or my emotional center, which is kind of both, but we speak as if they were different. It was very resistant to that because I shouldn't have lost it in the first place. And yeah. Um, so I need to work on that, but now I can maybe there's like files that are in there that were saved or I don't know, whatever. Anyways, um so I was trying this week to tackle a lot of to-do lists and one of the things that I was trying to do or I find myself doing was trying to figure out what to do with this live like with Patreon. uh, there's just so much, like, I think I said in another video, or I don't know if I posted that yet or not, but there's just so much I want to do, and that gets me excited, but it's so hard for some reason for me to do almost anything. Like, the amount of things that I can do is very minimal. It's as if I don't know what's wrong with me. Like, and it's very frustrating. So, this week kind of was like that, um, where today especially I really was going to like sit down and um cross as much off of my to-do list as possible, and or at least organize things, and then like I start organizing. I think yesterday I was working on the Patreon and YouTube ideas and trying to come up with ideas, and I don't think ChatGPT should be an option for ADHD because you lose your whole day on that because it's worse than opening tabs. Oh boy. Because you're opening ideas. Hi, P. Welcome back. Um. Oh boy. Oh boy. All right. Sorry, moving. um, but yeah, so I got like a bunch of ideas. A dance party was an idea, and but I need to, and then I have to like prepare those. I need to like implement the building blocks for each of these things, and to I'm not gonna lie, to a person that has normal energy or focus or whatever is not right now functioning for me properly, it's doable. But for me, because I have so much time too, but for some reason, like I can't. It's like because I'm one with metaphors here. Um, I don't know. I guess it's like not having enough gas in your tank or having the wrong gas in your tank. So I don't know. I don't see. I don't even remember what I started talking about. But yeah, I don't know. It's just frustrating. It's frustrating. I've not been able to do a very good job with like all the things like in the previous live that went terribly wrong. I ended up reading the other motions and things, Blake Lively wise, what happened, except for one. Did I read that one? I forget. And so I caught up with that, but I've not even been able to like watch videos. I've just been so tired and so down rabbit holes. I started calling them ADHD rabbit holes. I don't know if it's just that. It's like I start like today was um or like pantry organizing systems and meal prep planning systems, like the containers, like trying to figure out what I need based on what I usually get, and I wasted a few hours on that. And I couldn't stop it. I didn't even go to the bathroom. I didn't This is why I'm, like, so sure it's ADHD, 'cause I so hyper focused, and I didn't drink water, I didn't eat, I didn't do anything, and I kept saying in my mind, like, somewhere in the back of my mind, like, "Just this one last thing, one last thing, one last thing." So, you've been there, P. Uh, I mean, I feel for you. I 'cause, yeah, it is so frustrating. How do you get out of it? What is there something you do, or you just kind of ride the wave? I feel just very stressed as far as, like, I wanna do really, good content here, for you guys and for anyone else who's out there that's looking for this channel, and don't know yet or whatever. Um, Crockpot meals, yeah, set it and forget it. Yeah, I don't mind, um, I don't mind cooking or whatever. Um, I Yeah, I got an Instapot, I think before the pandemic or during the pandemic, like many people. Didn't use it once. I think I did use it once trying to make yogurt because that was like the exciting part. It's the oddest thing is like when you just keep opening things up, like trying new things, new meals, new ways of making food or like anything, and you're just trying and trying. And ironically, the thing that helps ADHD, or in my case, times when I've been the least stressed, that I was the most incredibly productive, like I did so many things in a day, was when it was super structured. I think like this week was so laid back, it was too laid back. And I think that's like the danger for someone with ADHD, or for me at least. Um, but that's what I was trying to do. I was trying to work on structure, but yeah. You're focusing on your crafting, the like actual crafting, like the knitting and things, or on a specific craft. Um, Rode the wave, then it turned me off because it's a lot of consumerism. Yeah. Yeah. Um, yeah. My thoughts, I think, by now with consumerism and all this stuff, like all the ads, all the things that buy this, buy that, buy that. It's so interesting because, yeah, I'm like so burned out, and I don't buy anything that's an ad. I've not bought something that I've seen in an ad in a long time, but I always come up with things to buy. I don't buy that much though. I just buy food mostly. This hair stuff is like the first thing that I bought in a long time. Well, like in a few months, because after my breakup, like did I bought like the SK2 for like facial treatment, and then, sorry, like for anyone who's not like into these kind of topics. But yeah, just like, self-care type of thing. Started with skincare like back in 2022. Oh my gosh, my dog just is staring at me. That is so creepy. She was sleeping and suddenly she's just like staring. Um, but yeah, and yeah, so self-care stuff is like my priority. Oh my gosh, I really want to part of me wants to do a live. Would you guys be interested in like next week or in the next couple of weeks doing a live on um because I would say like, oh, I maybe just do a video, but those for some reason I've done so many of the vlogs that have not even uploaded on my laptop. For some reason, there's like just a mental roadblock with those, but a live or a video, whichever, that is around the attachment style coaching that I do, like the theories and the like maybe a specific topic or like a specific tool or like the general gist of all the tools because so for example like the reason I ask is because it came to mind like what we buy tells us what our needs are in that moment or in that moment in our life or what shows we watch. And the same shows might be different needs for different people. Like I watched reality TV and like 90s TV shows for the last 2 years because I needed that familiarity. I was in a new place, in a new city, kind of. I mean, it's Midwest, so it's a different type of new city. It's like just 30 minutes away, so it felt like the same city. And my relationship was like up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. So I needed that, like, security. I just could not take any new movie or TV show, or I could not. I literally I think one time I forced myself, I watched La La Land, which was okay until it got really weird, and I was like, "What the heck is this? No, thank you." And then something else. But oh, the one with House of Gucci, is that the one with Lady Gaga? Um, but yeah, it was literally like impossible for me to watch anything new because I needed familiarity, I needed security, I needed friends, I needed, that comfort, that social comfort and stuff. So reality TV and ironically and that but for other people, reality TV covers different needs and things like that. So oh, you're hungry. What did I say? Oh crap. Oh, Instapot. We were talking about the food, rice cooker, Instapot soup. Oh, sorry, Instapot, crockpot, rice cooker, Insta. Yeah, cuz yeah, I wanted to do rice as well. I've discovered my family does rice in the microwave, which, not great to use microwave. I don't know. They say who knows what it is, but it is the easiest way. Yeah, and I only do basmati because I can't stomach the glutinous rice. So, but I have thought of just getting like a tiny rice cooker instead of the big Instapot because it's so big. Um, so big. Die Hard is my go-to self-soothing movie. I need to watch it. You mentioned that before. I need to watch it again. I watched it like such a long time ago. I have no idea. Like I don't know what it is. I just remember like elevator and a bomb and Bruce Willis, right? That's all I remember. So I need to watch that movie. Yes, 2 quarts of everything. Yeah. Um, yeah, I love basmati also because it has flavor. It's so strange. Maybe you think like rice shouldn't have flavor, but for me, it's like it makes it easier to like eat because it has its own flavor. It's not just like nothing. I don't know, but there's some yeah, maybe jasmine is the other one. There's some other one that's like okay, but it needs to be really washed and like all that starch needs to have like super gone away for me. I have that same with oats. I have to rinse my oats really well of all the starch. Otherwise, it's like in Romanian we have this phrasing bolovan, uh Bolovan Well, I don't know. I guess it's not a free. I would phrase it this way: bolovan in stomach. Bolovan is like big rock kind of structure thing. So it's like a big rock in the stomach, like it just falls in the stomach. Um, make a couple of cups of rice, then make freezer meals. Yeah, yeah. I just watched a video today when I was like being productive by going down this rabbit hole of meal prepping. And I was watching someone like having cooked rice, put it in a Ziploc, and then like quarter it. So you have like individual meals. I didn't know you could freeze rice that's cooked. I mean, I know that I got rice from like Trader Joe's from the freezer aisle, and I remember it didn't work out. The only yeah, but it might be cooked differently. That might, be different than this. I think I missed a couple of things before too. Um, I live in Florida. That's enough heat for me. Fast cooking or no cooking is important. Yeah. I'm focusing on my crafting. Yes, knitting, crochet. What are you knitting, P, or crocheting or anything now? You were in the one, sorry. Someone else mentioned on another live the some like stained glass fall stained glass kit or something. Yeah, something like that to try it out as like hobbyist type of thing. I don't know if you've heard of that. And yeah, my Instapot is my go-to, especially during the summer and to learn, but I have two right hands. Oh, I mean, in a way, for knitting, you kind of have the same hands. Which one do you think, P? Do you find one easier than the other? I found that crocheting is the one that I remember easiest. I don't remember knitting. Um, it comes to me much easier crocheting. I don't know that I would say it's easier as a whole. I have not done them that much. But yeah. Um where did I go? Where did I leave off? Um yeah, my oat always comes out like it's uncooked even when I soak it overnight. Interesting. Well, when you soak, I think overnight oats, I've found that when I've done overnight oats, they don't really fluff. Um I don't, maybe you're not leaving them long enough, or you can try boiling them too. Um, like I think with Irish oatmeal, you boil it, and I've seen that in like European meal preps or whatever. They like tend to boil their oats. Um, but yeah, the way that I do it is like I rinse it, and sometimes I rinse it with like hot water. Like when I was at work, usually I would only have hot water and or like I don't know, I don't even remember. Though at least one place had that. So it was almost like I was also cooking the oats at the same time. And then when I would add the water, make sure you add enough but not too much because then you just have like this soup of oatmeal. If it's too much, I would do that. And then I would leave it, I don't know, for a good hour, maybe half hour. And but by the time that I added that last water, like it was already pretty, flourished and flowered, whatever you'd call it. Um, but make sure you add enough liquid, maybe. I'm making triangle shawls. Oh, okay, that's cool. You're so fast through everything, P. Um, yeah. Did you finish the blanket? When I was younger, I crocheted more. I knit more now. Okay. Um, I'm probably going to make a carrier blanket next. Wow. You have until July. You're like pulling all of these out like that. Do you sell any of these things? That could be cool. Not that we need more consumerism. We were just talking about that, but it did come to mind. I can taste that some of it is not cooked. Okay. But also, like, have you tried, if you if you can't get them to cook, have you tried oats in yogurt? Like raw oats, uncooked, just put them in the yogurt. Um, or if they're cooked, they're even better, even slightly cooked in the yogurt, it's a little better. But my grandmother, that's how she eats her yotes oats. Um, it's like surprisingly good. I was shocked at how good that is, the oats and yogurt. My goal is to make something every month. Yeah, well, that it's impressive, P, that you can. That is awesome. A blanket took me a month. I slow knit. This is slow? I'm in a rush because I don't want rip it. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I need to like do more. The thing with I was saying, I don't know, again, maybe I was saying this in my vlog that I didn't like show yet, that I just recorded earlier. But yeah, when I was just focusing on like one thing, like Zumba, I was like, okay. And also, it was something that, because ADHD, the only motivation is if you like it. If you don't like it, nothing in the world can make you do it. So I think because of that too, but also because I was kind of going more slowly. And in like January, February and March, I was like, I'm not putting a lot of expectations for myself. I don't even care what people think about that I should be more ambitious. Like, I've been so ambitious for so long and it's not gotten me anywhere. It gets me frozen most of the time where I end up doing nothing. And if it's not that, it still hasn't gotten me anywhere. So, but mainly because I was so burned out and I was like, just putting myself first, my health first or whatever. So, yeah, I think in March I started, or was it April? We're in April. Yeah, March I started the Zumba thing, and it was just once a week, and that was like the perfect thing. Except life is so fast, and I need to catch up so much, and I need to at least by June, or at the latest, sorry, not at least, at the latest by June, I need to figure out how to like either be employed that makes sense or self-employed, and I feel like I'm very behind. And so, yeah, but I should kind of slow it down. Maybe not like one project a month, but maybe. I know when I was focusing just on I mean, I know it's not the same thing, but it made me think of that because it's similar. Um, because yeah, you can get very stressed if you're like just like what's that word? Not over accomplishing. What do we call overachievers and overachieving, and that kind of like mindset, or like hustle culture mindset, like just do this and then I just did that to myself with working out, and that didn't and we'll see how that goes. It just like was in the last 2 days. um but yeah, what the instructions say. Okay, that's how you do the oats. Yeah. I don't know what the instructions say, honestly. I just kind of leave them there until they're cooked, and yeah, make sure it's also hot, like the water is like really hot. um Yeah. Do you put anything? I put when I was working at this one place that had a cafeteria, I would get their oats, their oatmeal, and I would put like they had chocolate chips in it and walnuts. I think that's it. And I found that to be really good, just like chocolatey enough, but I haven't gotten that balance since. They had good oatmeal. Learn how to put my art in nails. Makes good money. In nails? What do you mean? You put your art in malls or nails? Nail salons or nails? Do you know how to draw? I don't know who that question was for, Maria, but um oh, honey. Okay. Um I yeah, I I'm more of a painter than a drawer. um yeah. I don't know if I've shown you guys my art. I don't have it with me. It's downstairs, but next time my little paintings, it's it was pretty cool. That was like a nice time where you just like um oh, nails, like these nails. Oh my gosh. P, you're on it. My brain. Um brain just froze. I think it was like, whoops, we were not on it. So let's just like pretend we're not here. Um, Gosh, I don't remember what I was saying, but yeah. So you like you draw or like you make art and then you transfer it to nails. Is that what you mean? Or you do nail art? Um, um, okay, hold on. I need to change. I think I'm going to use these boxes here. Oh, I was also in the middle of okay, talking about this. Um, and then it got cut off. The A nice Indian boy. Yeah. Okay. Oh, oh. All right. this is this is harder than in the other chair. Uh Okay, I need to respond to my friend, but I can't multitask that well. So, a nice Indian boy. Yeah, I don't know if I did like I think I did a pretty thorough review, but it was like last minute or not last minute. It was like first impression. It was like right after, and you know, I don't know. Um, but yeah, like I said, I think I stand by like my personal rating of 5 or 6. But having said that, it's definitely like a like movie theater movie. I think watching it, and of course, like most of, I think many of us won't have that opportunity. I mean, I did, but you guys like because it's in such select theaters. Um, and yeah, but um I feel like maybe like streaming it might be like more boring or it might be better actually. I don't know. But it's a unique style. I'm not into indie movies and this felt like that. So I don't know if it's like unique or just a style that I've not seen before. It's based on a play and I can definitely see the play element to it. So yeah, that was like cool. I did have my like displeasing kind of moments with cinematography. Sorry. Um, and I don't know if that's like a personal preference. Sometimes I'm harsh on cinematography because it might do exactly what they intended to do, but I don't like feeling uncomfortable. But I stand by the one scene is definitely not that because everything else was not it just did I'm 99% sure that wasn't on purpose that way. It was just, they just had a different vision, a different eye, but it really was kind of wrong. But there's just one shot. So I'm not saying that cinematography was, bad, but yeah. Um I don't know, it's a good story. It's a good story as far as how we're self-conscious and we shouldn't be. That's like a big part of it. And I can definitely see even though Justin didn't direct this, didn't do anything, but like his studio be one of the studios for the movie, and then I think he was an executive producer or like just a producer. But I can definitely see if it was his decision to, tie into this project with Wayfair. I can totally see based on, what we've learned from him, and like his own struggles. Like that one interview with the Simple Favor director guy, forget his name, but Fike, Alan Fike, Paul, Paul. um, yeah, like I can totally see that interest. So that was cool. I don't know if you guys got a chance to watch my live. Was it Wednesday? Um, I feel like I'm fighting for the wrong thing, but I do feel like it's important to, if this wasn't the big issue that it is right now with other things, this lawsuit, um, I think it would be very beneficial to talk about the marketing for um 5 Feet Apart and the marketing for It Ends With Us, like Ofidoki did. Um, and yeah, so I think it's a definitely a need to watch, or like a need to understand that there are like really distinct similarities that, you know, hopefully they'll just have the opportunity, first of all, and secondly, they will like actually grow from that, from these two projects, and just keep growing because they're a pretty young company. Um, so yeah, but yeah. Um, what customers ask I draw, and they have a professional install them. Oh, cool. You buy nails in bulk and make really good money putting your art to life. Yeah, that's cool. I knew someone that I worked with at a store here that opened her own shop. She was doing a lot of nails and nail art. So that's cool. Um, yeah. This is, oh my gosh, don't give me any more ideas, Maria. The last thing I need is ideas because I have plenty of ideas, but I cannot execute them. But that's awesome as far as like, that I didn't know that was a thing. Yeah, I didn't know that was a thing at all. That's really cool. Um, hmm, what else do I have here? Have you guys tried cottage cheese ice cream? This is more food. Don't want to keep the food thing, but that was one of the things that I had on my list here. I um I tried farmer cheese because that's our cottage cheese in Armenia, and it's sweeter. It's not like salty and like sour. Um, it's actually not that bad, but it's such like a big trend in the protein community. It's like, how do we put any more protein in everything that we eat? The one thing that I will say that I feel like is not fair is like, where's the fiber community? We were like, our ancestors would eat like 120 grams of fiber or something per day, and we're expected to eat 23 grams of fiber, and that's like an accomplishment. And if you're eating 23 grams of fiber, you're accomplished, because I struggle eating 23 grams of fiber. But lately I've tried to focus more on that, and I've gotten to like 50 grams almost. So yeah, but no one talks about that. Everyone's about the protein. And that I say this with like the cautionary tale that we should have, as far as um when we can't focus just on one thing. because our body is a system, and it's not just like protein that we need. And if we need to the balance, it's like if you take vitamins, taking certain minerals at the same time, or eating, vitamin D, or getting vitamin D when you're eating fats, and vitamin K and some other thing that like makes it work, but otherwise it doesn't. Or like turmeric and pepper, black pepper, like those kind of need to go together, things like that. And so this whole like protein, high protein diets, like I don't know, I find it interesting. I just find it like kind of questionable as far as the excess. Oh, lentils. I like lentils. I don't eat them that much. Um, I found them hard to make. They either become too mush or are not very cooked for me. Any lentil, what do you call it? Recipes, P. I wouldn't have gut issues. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, fiber, the prebiotics. Yeah, we need new trend. Why am I repeating everything? I'm stuttering all the time. But we need did it again. We need a high fiber diet community, like the high protein ones. Literally, if you watch, I watch Fit Foodie Selma, because I don't know, I don't like her intonation at the end of sentences or things, but for some reason it like really like scratches my brain. It sounds really weird, not in offensive, like that might be offensive, but I don't mean it in an offensive way. I'm just being very literal with how my experience is. But I love her videos. I watch, like, constantly. I watch her videos because they're aesthetically pleasing, and there's some good like food inspirations. I've not tried too many, but she puts cottage cheese in everything. Eggs, put cottage cheese. Ice cream, cottage cheese. I don't know what she doesn't put cottage cheese in. Overnight oats and chia pudding. That she doesn't put. She doesn't put cottage cheese, but she puts yolk. Oh my gosh. Sorry for the hiccups. She puts yogurt. Love pepper, don't use salt as much. Lentils are hard for me to make. Yeah, they're hard for me to make too. I don't know why, but they're really good. Fiber and something else. Um, yeah, I try pepper. Pepper is too peppery for me. Um, spicy wise. And for my gut, I need to get my gut in order. Cottage cheese is great. Lactate makes a good lactose free one. Okay. I've been afraid to try lactate. I don't know why. Um, yeah, be careful with the chia. They say that's like there's a limit to it or else it's bad. And depends on like each person. I know gallbladder, if you have gallbladder issues. I forget if you were Maria or the other Maria or someone mentioned gallbladder the other day. When I, at least at first, I haven't really had that issue now because I didn't eat like too much. Like I would make these like little chia pudding, little there's this really yummy coconut chocolate pudding that I made. Like it's like the perfect container. It's like a glass container, and it's like perfect to reuse and to make like a single serving chia pudding recipe. Or at least for me, it's like I wrote coconut because multitasking is not a thing now, I guess. Um, what is it? Yeah, this one. I have some. I should just. I mean, I love this. I should just make a live with just talking about food. Probably not at 10 and 11 p.m. at night. Maybe like at lunchtime or like before lunchtime when we're all deciding what to eat. So this one, I mean, it comes in these packs, but this one looks very washed out. Okay, that's a better picture. Um, so I've not tried the vanilla one, but I've tried the coconut one. But if you are in need of jars for like coconut pudding or whatever, or I mean chia pudding or whatever, these are awesome. These are awesome, but you need to wash them really thoroughly. They are kind of difficult to wash at first. Yeah, yeah, that's right, Maria. Um, I don't know then if it'll be the same thing, but for me, like I Trader Joe's had these chips that had flaxseed and chia seeds, and they were like tortilla chips. So they had corn too, and I think something else, like multi-grain chips, if you guys have heard of it. I'm sorry, I'm not well, to maybe try to wrap the food part on, those and I don't know, maybe you won't get hungry after this, but those, um, they did think I don't know exactly, but I something with, like, the bile or whatever, like, in the liver, like, it because it flushes everything out. It kind of all this like flaxseed and the fiber or whatever, like it just detoxes, extra detox or whatever, like flushes. I forget what they say, but basically it flushes everything out. It just grabs everything from the gallbladder, liver, whatever. And then the next day, I found like it was just really weird. I'm not gonna get because I can go into the TMI. Let me know if you want the TMI version of it, but I'm not going to go into the TMI version. But the only reason I would is because it's fascinating. It's really weird, and it's like a cautionary tale because, um, yeah, like I can't do too many of those. They're good, and fiber. Maybe I just need to work my way up to that. Um, but yeah, so, as far as, chia, I know that, like, they say, like, no more than 2 teaspoons or 2 no, sorry, 2 tablespoons a day. Um, but I don't know if for the fiber or that effect or because they have something else in it. I forget, but yeah. Anything in excess, we all just need to, like, know what the excess is for ourselves personally and just in general as well, basically. I love pepper. I use a lot of white pepper too. It's milder. Ooh, okay, I'll try white pepper. I do like I love with sunny side up eggs. I love black pepper and salt. Like it needs to have black pepper or else it doesn't taste it's not the same. But yeah, I'll try white pepper. Um I was take magnesium. Nice. I got this like one of those little like pouches of magnesium salts. I don't have a bathtub, but I put it sometimes like on the bottom of the shower and at least it smells nice and I definitely step on it because definitely feel it. Yeah, little sprinkles of chia. Yeah. I love chia. I love chia pudding and I love chia in like juice. Just I don't know. I love the like, gelatinous chia. But anyways, to get away from the food for Arnaldo's sake here a little bit. This is not food, but it's somewhat related. I started Viome. I had mentioned Viome, and I'll pull that up if I wish I had it with me. I do have so it's so interesting. This is not an ad. This is not a sponsor. I wish they were a sponsor if I ever make it anywhere. If I ever make it to sponsor level and I can get sponsors, Viome for sure. I would love to be one of them. Um, I've not been able to try it for a whole year because it's costly. But again, I'm in my health first era, so I'm, sacrificing other things for my health. Um, and so it's interesting because I get the like full body intelligence. I wonder, I think I can show you am I sharing the right screen? Yeah. I think I can show you my results because, yeah, it's just like about food or whatever. Um, but I started. A couple of days ago, I started the probiotic, and let me tell you, I've not experienced this with, like over the counter probiotics. You feel it. Today, my stomach was like definitely like, it's like stuff was working in there. Because it's matched, it's like a powder pouch, and it's, specific to your gut needs. Um, I'm already making an ad and I'm not getting any compensation for this. Look at that. But I I love them. Um, oh, I'm so sorry. Um, is this better? I don't know, or just the same? Because it's not technically food. Yeah, yeah. Well, but I've like I said, Maria, like I have tried all these probiotics. I've tried the ones from the fridge, the not the fridge, the women's, you know, excuse me, 7 generation or whatever they're called. I don't even remember. That are super organic, whatever. I tried the little pearls. Those used to work at first and then nothing. I tried seed, but I can't like swallow seed, and it's complicated, but I guess I could, you know, but I did not, I will say, I did not get the same results with seed. I did not feel them like I'm feeling these ones. Um, so yeah. Let me hear. So this is like my stuff. So I started probiotics. There's tooth gel. So they have this tooth system. I don't know if that's thunder or people upstairs. Um, I started with and I'll try my night gel tonight. I didn't get to yet, but it's like in the AM you have a specific tooth gel, and if I tell you, I posted this going on uh going on my way going to the movie yesterday, because I'm amazed by this tooth gel. I have no idea it's safe. I have no idea how this is so different than like regular toothpaste. For one, just flavor wise, it is minty, but not minty. Like it's not like burn your mouth minty or like overwhelming to everyone around you. Um, it is also like it like really foams up, which is like a weird sensation at first. And then, like, you don't need to rinse at the same time. It is so weird. It's such a weird and different experience. And then, my breath is, like, clean, but like I said, not minty. It's actually just clean. And my teeth are, like, really shiny and, like, smooth after. It's so weird. It's so weird. So I'm curious, the night version of it is like with hyaluronic acid. I'm like, why do I need that in my mouth? That is so weird. And they even say like, feel free to swallow for extra benefits because it is made specifically to like my needs. I'm like, you don't hear that from like I'm really doing. I need to contact them. I'm really doing a complete, as if this was like a sponsor. It is not. Um, but I'm just that like excited about it, that like I believe in it so much, and I've struggled so much with gut issues. I told you I started from the top, and now it's gone downwards, like I used to have acid reflux in high school, and now in the last few years it's more like lower gut issues, like really bad, like just all over the place. Just all over the place. And also, this is why I kind of started down this road too, because I want to test this theory that lethargy and chronic fatigue and brain fog and all this stuff coming from the gut, um and things not being right there, and our nutrition being off, or my nutrition, I'm not getting the right minerals and vitamins and nutrients and all this stuff, and I'm not digesting things properly. Even if I'm eating the right things, I'm not digesting them properly. So I'm, going to actually do this So it's the toothpaste, tooth gel, and tooth whatever at the end of the night. And then you have the probiotic packages. And then you have, again, things I can't swallow. So I pour the contents out and just like bear it, this like dust of vitamin B and all sorts of different things. Um, and this is new. This is so interesting. What is this? By diet should be treated with any other means. Look at that. Look at that. Why did I say it that way? That's so weird. Your body's ability to heal is greater than anyone has permitted you to believe. These are people that this was made, I forget, was it Oxford or Harvard? I don't know. It's like it started there in a lab, or like it's still partnered up with a lab there. It's really interesting. Viome is really interesting if you've not heard of it. But yeah, this is where I'm at. Like I don't really want medication to just maybe hopefully mask symptoms. Or like, you know, kind of fix one symptom to like have other ones pop up in another place. So yeah, so you have the tooth stuff, that's an option, you don't have to. But the gut formula, they call the probiotics, and then and sometimes you have ginger in it. I had ginger that the for like a year ago or 2 years ago. Did not like the ginger part of it because you can't put it in as many things like yogurt or water or whatever. Um and then I had these like basically it's like vitamin packets, but it's not just vitamins, it's minerals, it's about other things. When diet is wrong, medicine is of no use. When diet is correct, medicine is of no need. I mean, I would disagree with this. There are things that absolutely require actual medicine, but yeah, in general, we're definitely over medicating ourselves. I I think that's like an easy one to see. True healthcare reforms start in your kitchen, not in Washington. this is this is for the politicians out there. This is for the, I mean, I want a government. I want, you know, to not have to like be everything. Just like I want doctors, but I want them to be competent. Same with the government. Take care of your body. It's the only place you have to live. Oh, that's so funny. Anyways, whatever. Okay. So, um, let me see. Before I go in, let me see. I don't want to give away. Usually, I mean, it doesn't have, yeah, it doesn't have anything that's like private information. So, you have, again, this is all new. This whole platform changed. Usually it tells you like a superfood. I don't know if this is like a superfood for me, but it's just like an enjoy. Sardines. I actually almost had sardines yesterday. Detected. You get to see all of this. Oh, suboptimal cortisol management. Interesting. I have a 54. Oh gosh. So this is how in depth it goes. Like it is so crazy. This is not a surprise at all. I mean, that's night. Yes, I woke up this morning at 5 a.m. and I could not fall asleep. I started watching Surface. Has any of you have heard or watched Surface on Apple TV? I don't know if it's somewhere else. My friend recommended it to me. I really got into it. Oh my gosh. Oh, I have no idea what to believe. It's so interesting. Um, but yeah, so and then it has I'm like actually just learning everything with you guys as I'm watching. So this is like the stuff. This I didn't buy. You can see like it's not subscribed. I don't remember what this is for. Oh, it's just like extra like a little breath mint, but it's not breath minty. I don't know. But yeah, so you have the toothpaste and tooth gel, and you can see here what it has. See, hyaluronic acid, aloe vera, propolis, and cranberry extract, and um, a probiotic for your mouth. It's really cool. And then the gut formula are the probiotics, and these are the ones. So they give you the ones and the quantities kind of. I don't know if the quantities are very to you. Um, but yeah. Oh, and then I can just so these are the supplements. This is all there's you take four at a time. There's four in the morning, four at night. So it's quite a lot, but this is kind of all that it has. And it's interesting because like the licorice root and I think astragalus, and then there's ginkgo and something else. It's like a white flower or something. Maybe I thought I saw it, but I didn't. Oh, angelica root. Yeah. These are the ones that this acupuncturist a while ago prescribed me this what is it? TCM, traditional Chinese medicine. He was practicing that and he prescribed me this tea. Basically it was just these but put in water, and I remember my nose cleared up and I didn't even notice that it was stuffed until that day. And like like I was clear minded and my gut felt lighter. Remember, you guys, one of the Marias, I think, was saying, sorry, I get you guys confused, about like colonoscopy or something. Or like when everything like gets like out of your system, how much lighter and how much nicer you feel and all that. That's how I felt with that tea, and it wasn't, like, super cleansing like that. And so, when I saw this, I'm like, "Okay, he was right and they're right. They're on right on track." But yeah, so it has, like, these kind of things, magnesium, um, vitamin D3, that's, like, I think a higher dose than, like, I have over the counter. Now I don't know, for example, most of these, it would be nice if they're organic and not lab synthesized. I'm pretty sure they're lab synthesized because this is a lab and lab based thing, and it's cheaper that way, or maybe not cheaper necessarily, but like it makes more sense to them. I don't know, but I'll try it and let you know. I'll try it and let you know how it goes. I'll give it a month, but today there's stuff definitely happening in there as, as we're speaking. Um, I did hear that they're going to do this like community. Oh, refer a friend. Maybe I can give you guys this if $50 is not that much. Oh, but I have to like have your email addresses, so I don't. Well, maybe I don't know. I'll let you know if I find any like because usually with these it's like it's not just like, oh, I get commission or whatever. It's like it gives you discounts. I oftentimes, before I subscribe to something, I literally just like Google or go on YouTube and search you know promo code and whatever I'm looking for to see if anyone made a video that has a promo code to it. So yeah. What is like really cool. Oh, okay, so this is new and I'm very excited about this. Headache helper. I think we were talking about headaches the other day. Spinach. I mean, definitely to in up my spinach intake. Moon magician. Blueberry. Oh my this is so cool. Sorry, this is new. I'm going to like spend probably the rest of the night looking at this. Like after this, I'm not with you guys. I'm not gonna make you suffer through all of this. But this is so cool. Toxin offender. These blockers may contribute to the production or accumulation of harmful compounds like uremic toxins, heavy metals, putrescine, or uric acid, which can lead to oxidative stress and disrupt your balance. body's balance. So kimchi, I like kimchi. Kombucha, I can't do kombucha. So miso, natto, nutritional yeast. Ah, not my sauerkraut. I love sauerkraut. Oh boy. Oh man. Anyways. So again, and this might be just for me personally. So you might have different things that show up. Um, we've been talking about gut. So yeah, aloe vera. I know aloe vera juice was like one of my top things. Um, let's see what's like bad. Alfalfa sprouts, beet, broccoli, mung bean, radish, coffee, clams, cashews. Sad for the cashews. I just got some scallops. I just got, this might make sense. I ate so many scallops Sunday. Yeah. Oh, see, talking about leaky gut. Weaken your gut lining, making it more permeable and potentially allowing unwanted particles to pass through. Limiting these foods can help protect your gut barrier and support overall digestive health. But again, these might not be the same triggers for you. These are like maybe for everyone, but well, again, this is new. They used to just have like, I think they still have the nutritional. I'll go over it in a second, but this is like specifically based on my samples, blood, saliva, and stool. And so like don't get too sad if you see something on here that um oh, IBS. 39% improvement in gastrointestinal health. Viome's precision nutrition technology platform led to this. A population of Viome users who retested using two kits within a 6-month period, 91% saw slight or significant improvements in digestive health. I'm committed now. I'm just curious, like, how this works, if this works. And of course, like, just because it works for me doesn't mean that it works for everyone. But, the more people that they do this, the more population and the more like they can also refine it if need be, but like we can see if it really is their system or it's just like it just works for some and it doesn't work for others. But this is why I love it, because it really tells you what are your foods that you can eat and what you should avoid or minimize. And these change because there are things on here that changed from like even last year or 2 years ago. Um, so it's, in a perfect world, we would be able to test, sorry, more food, Arnaldo. Oh crap, I almost put end stream. But we could test for like every month for this stuff, and see how our gut, how things are. I mean, in a perfect world, I think we would test like every week or so, or like, how people can test blood sugar. I would maybe like in if our society keeps evolving and doesn't stop and just dies out, considering how the world looks right now, maybe we will get to that moment where we can test, like we test for blood glucose levels, for all of these things, for food sensitivities, for food reactions. And there's also like that one test that show that you is it like you like put it here and it monitors the spikes, your glucose spikes, because that's the other thing that they showed me was like certain foods like rice, for example, doesn't cause a glucose spike for me, personally. But it's technically said that it does in general, but everyone's unique too. So I don't know. I love this stuff. I love personalized. care, and personalize everything because we're so unique. Same with like coaching. The one thing that, yeah, maybe I am overextending myself, but one thing that I love and would love to do with coaching is to have it be very, very specific. And that I think with time I learn more and more how to like make that specific. And now I can sort of cater it in some ways, but it's still within like some structure that I know. Um, but like I want to add Meisner into it because I think there's like I don't know exactly, but I know there's a connection there. I just haven't like completely founded between attachment style theory, or attachment style um coaching or recovery or whatever, and like Meisner acting technique, because it's like, oh my gosh, I don't think I ever finished that one. I was talking about how, oh yeah, I did, like with the needs and, you know, like this, like I'm really interested um in like nutrition or whatever. And excuse me, and like you could say that part of it is like a need for security because I'm like trying to like really um control my body. um and yeah, so yeah, I'm looking forward to doing this tomorrow. And I'll share this with you guys too. These are the results. um I am aging faster. Fun fact though, this has stayed the same in 2 years. So I think I'm actually slowing down my aging because it stayed the same. I think I actually was 42 the first time I tested. Either they changed their testing or I just kind of stayed the same. So, um, inflammaging. That's good, I guess. The slow, constant inflammation that builds up as we get older. There's just like so much information. It is so, so cool. So cool. I wish they were a sponsor now. This is all completely new. The one thing that I want from them, and to go back to food, but not really. The one thing is like they give you, these are the foods you can eat, these are your superfoods, and these are the ones that you should avoid or minimize. And I wish that they would, and they don't have every single food on there, but they have so many. I wish that they could create like recipe database that is specifically to like, I mean, it's not that hard, honestly, because you just need to, but it's just a lot of data input and stuff. But with AI, I wonder like if it can speed things up. Um, but you make sure the system, like just the ingredients are really well listed out, and then it's easy, to like put that together. I don't know. It makes sense to me. It's not like super easy, like we could all do it. To an extent we could, but to that level, yeah. Um but anyways, not something that I really had, or I kind of had on my to do mention, but yeah, I don't know. But yeah, let me know if you want, if you're curious at all about the attachment style stuff. I'll definitely talk a lot more about it at one point because I definitely, it's like a huge passion of mine. And I don't know, like it's so weird because this is the thing. This is where I struggle with like what to do with YouTube. My interests change all the time. It's not that I'm not into the Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni thing. I am. It's almost like I have this like inner system of not overdosing on anything. Like there's like a internal um, gauge an internal alarm that goes off, and suddenly I lose interest in something just to like balance it out. That's how it kind of feels like with this Blake Lively thing. It's like, yeah, I'm like, I want to be interested in it, but like, I don't want to be owned by this story. I don't want to be owned by this issue. And that's also like probably attachment style stuff in there too. But yeah. And so my interests change a lot. There are some interests that don't change, which is like the viome, the food stuff, but even that fluctuates. The the coaching thing, the attachment style stuff, not as much, except when I was just so overwhelmed in my own relationship, and I was just burned out from it. But besides that, I've loved anything that has to do with psychology and all that stuff all the time. Um, so that might not be something that changes that much, but generally, like I came up with this podcast, name randomosities because a few years ago, because I was like, well, I'm interested in so many different things, and my brain is so random. Like my day could be random, or maybe I can be into one topic for like what, a couple of months with Blake Lively. Um and maybe it's like just like a day, or whatever. And when I watch some podcasts, I don't watch many, but when I watch the ones that I watch, one of the things that is the most fun to me is when they change because hello brain, my brain's that way. When they change topics all the time. Like it's fun to do a deep dive every now and then and to watch a deep dive. And deep dive is if it's done with like ever changing thing, like, oh, there's this piece and then there's this piece. If they spend too much on one thing, then I get bored and I'm like, can't watch this. So it's like partially from like what I enjoy, and also just trying to work with what I have. And what I have is a random brain. Literally, like, oh, there's this one game. Here's a non-food suggestion, or you know I don't know. Oh, what is the name of there's this one game where Medium, there you go. Since then it's on Amazon, I'm going to add this to my Amazon stuff, even though as we saw, doesn't do anything. Um but yeah, so Medium, I both rock and suck at this game. Depends who who I'm it depends on the goal, because my brain spits out the most random combinations. The way that this game goes is you're with a partner and you pick, there's like a card. Does it have an example card here? No. Okay. You pick like a card that says, I don't know, I think it's a question, a prompt or something like things you find in the fridge or something like that. And you both have to say the same exact thing. And so first time, you might not, I don't know. Anyways, I played this first time with Nelson, and it was fun to me. I think it was very frustrating to him, because what was fun to me, I think, I mean, he was laughing, but what was fun was because I was so unpredictable, and it was just like hilarious because it was just like the most random things. I would laugh at myself, honestly. I'm like, how did my brain come up with that association? So it's like you get three different what do you call it? Three different times or whatever tries to get the same word. And so you say like things you find in the fridge, and then you say, one person says red pepper, and the other person says milk. And so then you go like, okay, what is the middle word between red pepper and milk? And I don't think that I'm getting right the like initial prompt, but so that's a very good question. What is the I don't know what what is similar between or like the common ground between red pepper and milk. But anyways, that's kind of it. And then you go like that. And so it's like you're supposed to like be reading each other's minds. That's the whole kind of like shtick to it or whatever. It's a cool game. I love it. Um, but yeah. So back to my randomosities. It is also sometimes very comforting to watch something that's just like one track. Um, but yeah, I don't know. Like, I just felt like it was very me. Like, when I talk to anyone, I think anyone will be able to tell you that I just talk in very random things. Like, I have random topics and they go on forever if they need to, or if they're not stopped, or if I don't stop them. Um, some may call it anxiety. It can be anxiety, but it's not anxious thinking. It's just like I think of like philosophical stuff, like you know you know what? Let's talk about this. This was something I kept, you know, pulling in every live, and I have not talked about it. But then let's talk about it now because this is very much aligned with the first impression that was not very like nice with this Sofia Vergara on Armie Hammer's podcast. Let me pull that up just so you know. You see, I have blah 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 blah. Okay. So this actually is the moment that I wanted to share. Um, and it is very perfectly lined up with what I was just talking about as far as like philosophical things or like science. Part of this food conversation for me is like the science part of it. That's like really interesting, and what works for some of us and what doesn't work, and what we can learn from one another. And so they start this whole podcast very randomly. Okay, this is minute 6. Let me just show you first part of it because it is I don't know how to feel about this first part. Um this is just like his start. I've not watched this the whole way through.
This is my favorite fact, that the reason gold is so precious is because it comes from space. It's not naturally occurring on Earth. It never will be. We have a limited.
Okay, now here's my question. When you say it's not naturally occurring on Earth, it is on Earth and it wasn't put there, so it is naturally here.
So it doesn't naturally occur, meaning it doesn't come from the ground. It came from a collision of two supernovas, and that.
Yep.
This is you know what, this is unbelievable, and I wish that the world would focus. By the way, thank you for bringing.
Okay, sorry, that skipped ahead. They go from gold is from space and not from the earth. Doesn't naturally occur in the earth, which I don't know. Sounds weird to me. Must be true. I don't know. And then they go into like some other space talk, and then they end up on this like kids with like mind reading abilities or something. And I think it was in this podcast where I thought like Armie Hammer's a fearful avoidant, isn't he? And I was right. It was confirmed. And with like the next thing or the second next thing that he said after that, and I was very proud of myself, like, oh, still got it. Just need to like brush off the rust. But yeah, anyways, I think I wrote that in my notes. I'll get to it. But the whole like these kids, I think it was like study or something, some documentary or whatever, on kids on is it not twins. Is it no. What is it? Some kids and their moms or something, and even if they're separated, they can like, or maybe just like kids, general kids, no, oh, autistic kids and their moms being so like linked mental, like yeah, mentally, where like if they show one of them a number, the other person instantly knows that number without like speaking or seeing each other or whatever, like even in different rooms or something. So there's apparently this documentary out there, and they start talking about that. And then this is what happens afterwards. This is what she says afterwards.
Bringing awareness to such a beautiful, I had no idea.
Yeah, I'm a real
and
hero.
I'm all about this kind of thing.
Mm.
But what we hear is Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively. And
Mm.
like there should be
Yeah.
much more chatter around these things that for what this generation or whatever focus on.
Mm.
And so
I understand the sort of like culture of celebrity
Of course.
fascination or even like, you know, obsession, because it gets people out of their own shit.
exactly.
Like it's like my life sucks. I'm gonna go look at this, and like that'll get me out of it, and like,
Right.
it's an escape, right?
Right.
Sure.
Which I highly disagree. And I'm like, you guys did not watch what people are saying about this. Yes, to some people that is celebrity gossip and all that stuff. Even to me, like, but I wouldn't say that it got me out of my own crap. um because like my life, sucks, so I'll look elsewhere. And that's where I think maybe is, I don't feel that fear of missing out or that depression that comes with watching people succeed on Instagram. If I don't know you, if I know you, it's a little different. It hits differently. It does like hit me like, oh, what am I doing? Like that sucks that they're so much more ahead in life than me. But if I don't know you, I don't have that. When I was saying that, the Justin Baldoni thing and Blake Lively thing got me, it didn't get me out of my crap. It just like, it was something that I was like so passionate about and so, yeah, so passionate about that it did what, for some people going to work does when they're going through a really tough time in their life and in their family, and they go to work and they're able to like focus on something else for a little bit or like balance it out, or going for a run or something, or meditating, or looking up science facts or whatever. It is kind of like um balancing things out. But primarily for me, it was like something that was just so important to talk about. And that's why it was able to get me out and away from what was going on in my personal life. But it didn't. Like that's still, I was still very present in that. That still was very much there. Um but I remember like before, like the breakup and stuff. Like I remember I was already like, I didn't know the breakup was coming, and yet I was already onto this. And it wasn't because like my life was crap and I needed an escape. So I was like very a little bit offended when he said this, but I was like, I guess that's his opinion because he is, or was, but still is, a celebrity and doesn't really probably understand the other side of it because he's been famous for so long, since he was so young. He was like, what, 19 or 20 something? And you might say that's old for Hollywood, but I would say it's still very young. And so you don't have necessarily an idea of why people might be interested or have these like what people say parasocial relationships with celebrities, or what is happening in that world. Um yeah, but I think this one hit many beyond just the celebrity aspect of it. I remember the first time that I was like, I need to get live. I need to be on YouTube and speak about this. The very first time I spoke about it wasn't that time, but the first time that I was like, I want to say things, it was when I read Justin's complaint, and it was talking a lot from the director point of view, and this actress that kind of didn't respect the boundaries of filmmaking relationships, and and the like interesting war almost at that time, especially between like people that were kind of coming from the same side but different directions. Like everyone was kind of fighting for, as Nelson would say, like the underdog, but for me it was like everyone was fighting for the person that seemed to be the victim, but they disagreed on who that victim was, but they agreed on exactly the same reason they were the victim, which was narcissistic abuse or things like it. So it's so interesting to me. It was so fascinating. That's what got me into this. And that's why I think with all of these like court filings, it's gotten too technical for me. As far as like legal technicalities and this like there's a lot of stuff in between that's like, that there's a reason people said that the first complaints, both Blake's and then Justin's, they were more like for the public because they were more story time. They were written more simply than all of these references to other cases and this and that and whatever. It was more like, hey, this is what happened. And it's like, oh, it read like a movie or like a book or something. So um yeah, so I think there's something to that. Anyways, what she said is ironic because she says that, and also a it's something I felt kind of bad for him because it's something that he's really wanted to distance himself from because he does just adamantly does not want to be pulled into this or any of this scandal or any other scandal. Like Kevin Spacey, they both have, understandably, and I believe them, that they've been through hell and they do not want to be pulled back into hell. And they notice that this is hell for the people involved. And they're like, I've been there. I do not want for anything in this world to go back there, especially when it has nothing to do with me. And he might be someone that the satellite people around Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, and Justin Baldoni, and Jamie Heath, and those satellite people like Isabella Ferrer and anyone else, Brendon Sklenar, and whoever, um, might feel that same thing. It's like we might judge them because it's like, why are you not standing up for so and so, or why are you standing up for that person? And then I saw like Elsie's video on Isabella Ferrer's like quietly distancing herself from Blake Lively on Instagram. And I didn't like her attitude. I didn't like Elsie's attitude. Like, oh, but I'll never forget. I'm like, why are you attacking this girl? Yeah, she's an adult, but she's also so young. And she was really like, you don't know what she could have gone through. If Blake Lively wanted to use her, you that I just felt very appalled at Elsie's attitude towards that whole thing. Calling it out, okay, but you do not want to. Why are you threatening this girl? It just like really appalled me. Anyways, but like they might understand, and they might have like kind of a similar like point of view as Armie and Kevin Spacey, um, because it's like they even less because they haven't been through it yet, but they definitely probably can sense like, I do not want to be part of this. And I think that's totally understandable. Um yeah. I think it's important for the truth to come out. It's so exhausting watching false allegations, manipulations. Yeah. We're not dumb. Yeah, it is. It is. And I'll add also to that that for me it's also exhausting not being able to have nuanced conversations, because like the one that I was talking, the video, the live or whatever that I did on the marketing campaign, the similarities between um gosh, I keep wanting to say just CF, but 5 feet apart and it ends with us, and how, you know, they were not on it. They did not get the point of marketing. They approached marketing too naively, from like such a, for people who almost did not, who knew like marketing in theory but not actual marketing, if that makes sense. Anyways, but that was like, that is such an interesting conversation to have, and it's so nuanced. But when I saw that, one of the first things that I thought about was like, I don't know if I should talk about this, because it might be just like leading to opening a door of who knows what, that I don't even know, that is against, Justin Baldoni and Wayfair, by, is it by proxy? Like, it's not directly related, but like, oh well, they did this, so look, see, whatever. And then I also thought recently, I mean, but I wasn't the one that we found this out. This was already a video online, a video of a person that is a Blake supporter. So Blake's team, if they're smart, like Justin's team, they also have their YouTube followers that they watch for, like, help. And um so they might have already watched that. And the other part is, if this is at all relevant to the case, or is brought to the case, like, and I'm not saying that Justin Baldoni's team is not watching my videos, which is why I was like trying to like share it with the bigger channels, but they are not interested. I don't know. Sure, Steve Flaw might have been, I don't know, but yeah. So, but in that sense, like, they're therefore prepared, if they see like, oh, okay, this is coming. Um, let's like know how to, prepare for this, to like respond to this. So there's that. And also, I I love nuanced conversation. I think, like with A Nice Indian Boy, there are things that I didn't like about the movie, and I want to speak about that. And I don't want to be, it's just not me at all to be like, again, we're all biased, but like bias as we talk about bias, like, um I want to be able to like speak truth. Not just like, oh, I can say that because it's against, the people I support. No, because it's not, I'm not saying it from like a bad place. If I'm not liking a cinematography shot because I think it's just a bad shot, and okay. And also, that's like one shot of like thousands and thousands in the movie. So, there's that too. Um, but yeah, the conversation around the marketing part is like another nuanced thing that is like so cool. There's so many parts in this um lawsuit that are nuanced on both sides, that I would love to talk more um easily about. um but I think at this time it's like really kind of difficult, honestly, to like talk very nuanced about anything, because it's, yeah, I don't know. But I try. I even try right now. They care about their own careers. There's no real loyalty in the industry. Um, yeah. Yeah, well, but I don't know. I have a lot of empathy, because fear of livelihoodness, fear of um this is also not just a job. If you're, in these people's shoes, you're there because it's a passion for you to do, be an actor or actress, to make movies, to be, behind the scenes, whatever. Or you're, in Isabella's case, you're literally just starting out. No one's really blaming Henry Golding for, not standing out. standing up, sorry, standing up to Blake Lively and stuff. Everyone's understanding because it was his, similar to Isabella. It was his second movie, not quite, but yeah. Good night, Arnaldo. Okay, sleep well. Um, so yeah, so I still feel like there's grace to be had, even for Brendon Sklenar, who is just a mess. But they're not the ones fighting, and we can have our issues with how they're handling things and what they do. I don't know. I still feel like there's, especially for certain people, I don't know why for Isabella, I feel a lot of grace is needed because I think she was very impressionable. Yes, she was 20 some years old. Let me tell you that me at 20 whatever, even at 30, 32, I was not able to think that well to like make better decisions. um you're just not mature enough. It's really easy to judge from a different perspective. There are some very mature people out there at different, at like younger ages, and even I was like pretty mature for my age. That's also part of the fearful avoidant attachment style. It was more like kind of a surface level maturity, or like a deepness to it. But I it's like parentifying kids. Like they act like adults, they sound like adults, but they're not adults. Their brain still hasn't, like it's impossible to like fast forward biological growth and maturity. And so yeah, I feel like that, especially combined with someone who really, Blake for sure, no matter what, whether she was a victim or not, no matter what, she for sure wanted to have people on her side, and she definitely knew how to manipulate the situation um for that. And I think we should not underestimate, especially with Isabella, we should not underestimate that power. Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, but back to what she was saying. Anyways, the point that the whole thing I defeated. She said that, and I don't know if it's in this next part or just a bit later, where she literally brings it up, and I'm like, is this hypocrisy that we're seeing?
But all of a sudden you go, hey, did you know that the human brain doesn't work anything like you think it does? And in fact, kids who you thought couldn't talk and have no ability to think are actually communicating with each other and doing it telepathically.
That can get you
and
out
you
of your
just
head.
kind of go,
And writing poetry and like
Stunning.
and you just go, oh, I don't understand how the world works.
That's
like
crazy.
It's a bizarre thing.
Oh
Yeah.
my God. I can't wait to watch this.
Yeah, it's really good. It's really good.
Yeah, I've been wanting to chat with you when I saw you that you have a podcast, because
Yeah.
I'm in the making of my podcast,
Yeah.
which is about
All the cool kids are doing it.
cancel culture and
About cancel culture.
exactly.
Like your whole podcast is about cancel
It's
culture.
it's about cancel culture. It's about the cancel, so we're in idea.
What do you think they're going to say?
I think they're going. What can you say?
Sorry, my video keeps doing that.
Like the problem I have with that is that I'm gonna give you an example because it's whatever happened recently, which is, here's the thing: there are exceptions. For example, I would never have P. Diddy on my podcast.
Sure.
Because he
Cosby, Diddy, Weinstein.
Whatever.
Ladies over. Anyways, I feel like I almost don't even want to wait to find that moment again.
Recently, Justin Baldoni and the Blake Lively thing.
There we go.
He got dropped immediately by his agent.
Yeah. I know that dance.
But there hasn't even been a process. Like they won't even go to court till next year. So you basically, this is the danger of that. It's like anyone can actually say something that could ruin your life, and people can think that they have the ability to remove the opportunity for you to defend yourself.
I mean, that is so spot on. That is so, but my issue, and my issue just started when I was watching this. That was just the beginning. I don't know why this woman rubbed me so the wrong way. She says that she is, I forget what she's saying that she is. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I don't know. But this was one of the things, because she says like, "Oh my gosh, why are people not talking about this?" And she came with, and also she did not even let him talk, but it was just like this weird energy. Like she was preaching about, she's not a scientist, but she was like teaching him about like science and physics or astrophysics or whatever, and she's not any of that. And I'm like, what is going on? So I think that was actually when I first started like, what? I don't like this person. But kept an open mind throughout the whole thing. But when she said, like, "Oh, this everyone should talk about this stuff about these kids and all these things instead of like just wasting like this generation, putting again being condescending, looking down on a generation and thinking that she understands anything about why they're interested and even about the generation itself." Also, I think most of the people that are watching this Justin Baldoni Blake Lively are not the young generation. I don't think they could care less about this. I think it's us, the older generations, that are watching it. Um, but yeah, so there's that. And then she goes into, he doesn't want to touch that subject. Yes, no. Yeah. And he did more than I was surprised that he went as far as he did go. But yeah, I mean, 100% agree with them and totally understand that. Um, but yeah, but she was like just so offended that people are so enthralled by this Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni subject. And then she brings it up, and oh, lo and behold, what is she working on? A podcast about cancel culture. Meanwhile, she just talked about how, like, no one, like, there's not enough people on these podcasts and so forth talking about real interesting things like science and children reading minds and all whatever. And her podcast is all about celebrity stuff because cancel culture, I mean, it's not just celebrities, but that's generally the biggest, whether it's, celebrities like CEOs or, whatever, but they're big names, and or like celebrities in Hollywood. I would say that they're all celebrities when it comes to cancel culture. But it would be interesting if she has people on that no one knows about. Um, but yeah, that like that's what started. That's when I started with this podcast. That I was like, what am I watching? This is so weird. Um, so the notes that I have, definitely polarizing. I don't know. I don't remember. This was so long ago. I kept moving this further and further out. Largely, she got under my skin and almost, in a way, just confused me. Yeah, yeah, because she was all over the place. It bothered me. Like it, it was almost like she was hosting this podcast at one point or throughout the whole thing, and I'm like, this is his. If and it's not about her talking more, because as the guest, like, I would expect her to talk more, but it was just the way that she was like guiding the whole thing. I don't know. But yeah, it was all over the place. Definitely an odd feeling to watch from the outside how they interrupt each other. Made me feel awkward, though they may not have felt it. I'm curious if they felt awkward, because if Army felt awkward, because I felt like it had very awkward moments. If I was in his shoes, I would feel very awkward, very uncomfortable. And of course, like, you're, ideally professional and you just kind of keep going and you don't show it or whatever. Or maybe he enjoyed that. Sometimes like that banter of like cutting each other off is enjoyable. Um, but yeah, but they got into dating at one point. That was just uncomfortable for me. Just uncomfortable for me. I'm not ready to hear him talk about dating. And it was like her, and she went back to that because they went off that topic at one point, and then she is like, no, wait, I wanted to say something. And she just came across to me not very healed either, but at the same time wanting to have this podcast about cancel culture and what she described herself. I don't know if it's in sorry, Sandra Vergara, but it's like I think they're both like birth name Sophia. Um at least that's what I saw online. Maybe not. I guess not. So yeah. This is Sophia's sister? Yeah, okay. There's a lot of people in this family. Okay, so it's her sister. I did say Sophia at the beginning, I'm sorry. Um, but she says that she's a artist, beauty, and lifestyle counselor. I forget where it was, but this is on her Instagram. And I don't know why that like it got to me because it sounded disingenuous. It sounded like so many people out there just become coaches. And they have like all these weird different names for it. Maybe she's legit. Maybe she went to some actual course or some like school for it because she says counselor. So if you're a counselor, you're at least like you're supposed to be master level in psychology. So I'm curious now what her credentials are. Um, mhm. Well, there's another Sandra Vergara who is a PhD in genetics and genomics. That is not her. Um, I don't know. But that's like the way that she was talking, the things that she brought up, and I don't know. It just felt like a fake counselor or a fake coach. People who, because they have gone through their own experience, just think, oh, I can teach other people. Fun fact or fun insight, which you probably know by now, but um, most of the time, influencer schools, anyone who's like coaching people to become influencers on, whatever, YouTube, Instagram, wherever, they will say that you don't need to be an expert in your field that you want to go in. You just need to know two-thirds, sorry, two-thirds, I think, more than your audience or something like that. I got so offended when I heard that. I'm like, that is not my goal. I'm sorry. I do not want to just pretend I know what I'm talking about. I want to actually know what I'm talking about. So when I did my coaching, it's not the same thing. But when I did my coaching, I definitely also wanted to go back to, and I will probably one day go back to get a psychology degree. There's a slight potential conflict with my goals as far as like getting the psychology degree. Well, I mean, I guess I can get the degree and not the license, because the governing situation is different for each, and um, I don't know how to navigate it. But also, this is, to cross the bridge when the bridge appears, kind of thing. Like journalism, yeah, yeah. Some of them don't research what they write. Yeah, there's a lot of fake journalists out there that just like, oh, I have thoughts. I have some knowledge, some background. I'm going to write and I am smart about it. Yeah, exactly. That's kind of like that. Um, and so that's like another thing that really like we're not going to be friends. Not that we'll ever meet. Um, then I talk, they throw accountability around, but it's the one thing they lack because people just throw them out. What was I talking about here? I have no idea who this was about. I don't know, but it was a point that I made. Oh my gosh, I forgot that I probably should have gotten this anyways. Um, and then she puts down the Justin Baldoni Blake Lively thing. Why are people talking about this when instead they should be focused on things like the supposed telepathic power of autistic nonverbal kids, which I'm cautious to believe a lot of things. I am someone who went and felt Reiki. And you might think, well, you automatically believe this stuff. And it's like, no. Even with Reiki, at that time in my life, I did believe more in like things, but I never was like a complete full on believer of things. Like you wouldn't just like throw things out at me and I will automatically believe them. And so yeah, the whole thing with psychics and like nonverbal communication, telepathic communication, etc. I'm someone who loved Sequest, and there was this is so weird. There was a telepathic, or like I think out of Sequest or like that took me out on a rabbit hole. Supposedly dolphins communicate telepathically or something. And so it's like I want that to be true, and just like this would be cool. And I kind of believe it. And I worked for a company that worked with mind mapping and mind um like with electrodes, not reading, but like, is it mapping? I forget, whatever. And um they had known a lot of research, and they worked with people that did a lot of studies on telepathic people, and it was very real to them. So I mean, I'm inclined to believe it, but I don't know that I want to jump into that boat yet. Regardless, that's not why we're here. That's not why I'm talking about this. Um, or how gold is from supernovas but not natural occurring, etc. So they're talking about this. Um, and then she talks about Justin Baldoni a couple of times and how her podcast is about cancel culture examination. And I'm like, dot 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 dot. Mm, why are you not talking about the supernovas and everything? Why is your podcast about cancel culture if you have such an issue and you look down on people who are obsessed, or I mean that was his word, um who are obsessed about this case or just celebrity gossip or whatever you want to call it? But you're going to benefit off of that. You're going right into that direction. Interesting. So that bothered me. um oh, and then I said like these notes. Why people do it, it's fear and control. Control stems from fear. I think they were talking about something around fear and control, and um, how like sometimes it's about control. And I'm like, well, control is actually like it's coming from fear. So it's control is not like it's kind of like anger is not anger. Anger is hurt in disguise. Control is like fear in disguise. And then yeah, Army labels it as celebrity fascination obsession because it gets people out of their own crap. My life sucks, it's an escape. I'd say it's a very myopic view of this. It's not the same for everyone. To me, it's similar more to the politics area of life. Yeah, like, things that you feel can affect you or can affect people on an unfair way as a whole in general, that is based on what will happen with these people. Um, I think that was also Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. That was kind of the same thing. Um, Again, it is a little different because it was a domestic dispute kind of situation, but um, being that it was public, I think people probably felt the same way, like, "Oh crap, what does this mean for all of this stuff, for victims of abuse and all the things, um, and like the Me Too movement things and all that? Like, will it be, um, affected and so forth?" So I think there's a variety of reasons why people are into the celebrity news that they were into. Um, I don't think I'm into any other celebrity news. There's like the J Lo and Ben Affleck thing, which I feel like people. That's where I feel like people need to get a life. Again, I think when it comes to domestic dispute type area, I find it very odd to get into it from a point of villainizing one or the other, because if you're villainizing one of the people, it probably means you went through something that you feel is very similar and you're like projecting. Um so and then with like this that kind of dispute, it's like harder because there's so much more that goes into when people get to that point. Whereas when it's like more professional, regardless of how close or distant the professionalism is, but when it's professional, and I know people say like, oh, there were crushes and affairs and whatever. I don't believe it. And even if it was like, that's not apparent in anything that's actually happening, the big stuff that's actually talked about. Um, and I don't believe there was any affair, but a crush, probably, maybe. I don't know. Actually, I don't think probably. I think I'll put my money on Blake Lively crushing on Brendon Sklenar. And that's why he's like the favorite of both Colleen and him and Blake Lively. And why Blake Lively spoke so much like a girl that has a crush at the Book Bonanza video about Brendan to Brandon, about a voice, like a voicemail that she would leave with a line that he improvised because it was so sexy and so like, or like sultry or whatever. And everyone's trying to say that she crushed on Justin. And it was like this woman scorn thing. I think they're not. Talk about journalists that are not doing the research. I think they're not listening. I think a lot of people want to see what they want to see and put, and me included, like to a certain point, we can't see what we can't see outside of our like bias. But try. Like that was like right out there. I'm gonna look that up because I remember covering that in like a video, that one. And it was so clear. That was, like, absolutely the moment I was like, "Oh my gosh, like, Blake was totally crushing on this guy. This is her crush. That's why, like, he's favored. That's why he's not being sued or anything. That's why he was okay to, like, kiss her or, like, hug her or improvise or whatever." Um, let's see. Toxic relationship. Yeah. What toxic relationship about what? What was I saying? So sorry. I feel so bad. I wish my brain was like better. What else? Wow, the commercial is playing because it's one of those long commercials that I can't skip. Oh yeah. Hmm. So this Sandra Vergara. It's harder to say Vergara. Yeah. English R's are some of the hardest sounds for me to make. I hate, especially I used to hate TR or RT. I forget which one, but just Vergara is like one of the hard. Like I'm literally feeling like I'm choking trying to say that in English. So I should just say Sandra Vergara. So much easier. I have an accent, anyways. Oh, Amber and Johnny. Yes, yeah, yeah. It was, yeah. That was a People say they throw a toxic relationship everywhere. That was a toxic relationship for sure. That I mean, I feel like, and I hate to belittle this because I actually felt bad about people um taking this to the extreme that people took this to. But to that point, if you end up having one of you or both of you go to the extreme lengths of pooping in each other's bed, you know it's a toxic relationship. If you're arguing just because you're arguing a lot, or because I don't know, having disagreements, or um you're pushing each other's buttons and you're triggering each other, does not necessarily mean it's toxic. But yeah. But this Sandra girl here, woman, I don't know how old I think she's like young, says that she doesn't want to go to into a certain subject or topic because she still wants brand deals. I don't like her. I'm just gonna put this out there. I do not like her. I do not like her. But moving on, let's see. Let's see this thing. Remember this little jewel?
Makes sense to me. Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Also, though, I was shocked because like people
letting yourself, work.
Press tour.
Yeah. Grateful to be just
come in every morning like, good morning, everyone. He's like dressed like a cowboy, but with like W hotel slippers on. And I was like, do you not have shoes? Like every day in Jersey, he's like walking around in like hotel slippers from his hotel, but he has all these cute cowboy boots that he's not going to put on at 5 a.m. So
I am so over lazy people. And I'm not talking about lazy when you're like debilitated from like trauma or depression or whatever. I'm talking about people who try to or are found to be cool because they're wearing slippers walking around a city. I don't know if this was hyperbole, but be a decent, like, where's the decency? Where's the just basic decency? Just basic decency. You're a part of a community. Just basic decency.
so that was my wrap gift to him, is I got him these slippers that my husband wears. They're called Glare Ups. They're really cute. I'm not sponsored by Glare Up, if anyone's wondering, but they're great. They're amazing. So
and I only wear them.
And so the first one is from Sarah.
And they're not made by Glare Up. They're made by Yves Saint Laurent, for anybody wondering. But those were my real life boots. I wore a lot of my clothes and my husband's clothes. Our director also plays my other love interest. And so I think when we were in scenes together, are we too connected? Are we too vibing?
Yeah.
But she loves Ryle. He's the best. I mean, she loves Atlas. She also loves Ryle. She loves Atlas and young Lily. They're
First love.
Oh my God.
So cute.
Them in this movie, like they're so amazing together, and you just like love them. So yeah, that was always tricky for me because I was like, who do I love?
This is from
Could you
do that?
I beg him to do lines from the movie so I can like
This is
film the lines and send them to my friends.
Sorry, I was like, I forgot exactly, and I was trying to find the place. But yeah, trying to blame it on the tiny dog. Well, I mean, what would you do? If you were like in that situation when you're found out, like, it's not something that she's probably proud of or doesn't feel shame around. She's probably feeling a lot of shame. So of course she'll blame it on the dog. She likes to be center of attention. Yeah. So this is the part that I was talking about, where if this doesn't scream crush.
I beg him to do lines from the movie so I can like film the lines and send them to my friends who love it. He does this one line that is mine and Colleen's favorite.
And
You want to tell him? Sorry,
Yeah.
Brandon. We've put you in the middle of
Do
us.
it.
we're gonna put you on the spot, but it's a restaurant scene where Atlas walks up to the table and is just, making shit.
This is not from the book. This is just like Brandon being Brandon.
Completely ad-libbed, but
he's asking everyone, he's like,
better.
oh, what'd you get? Like, what appetizers do you like? Like, just like benign, innocuous question. What appetizers do you get? What did you like? And then he looks at me and goes, what about you? What do you like? It's crazy.
With his deep voice.
So I have all these straight men who every time he does that, they scream. And then they're like, they always say to me, what about you? What do you like?
Oh my God.
So I make a video for my friend Travis and go, hey, Travis, what about you? What do you
Iconic. Not
I don't even understand. I don't understand. I don't understand what she's saying when she say like, so I have all of these straight men that send these voice notes to her, like text or whatever to her, or say this to her. Why did she have to mention that they're straight? What is she saying? Oh my gosh. But also, like, it just, there's so much in this little tiny moment. It's not really that little, I guess it's a few minutes, but I just feel like this wasn't the only reason that I felt like she had a crush on Brendan. The similarity between it and did I share the one guy? What's his name? Nikhil or whatever. Yeah. So this is Brendon Sklenar, whereas McKeel, and this is like McKeel. Gosh, this Google you did not do. Like, this is him. This isn't like the best like photo of this guy, but they look very similar. And yes, you can say like, oh, he looks like Justin Baldoni. I mean, they're actors. They kind of all look kind of the same. Oh wait, let's see that picture. This is like maybe the closest to Justin Baldoni because he's wearing like a t-shirt or a shirt like that. But when I saw the guy's like face, I thought Brendon Sklenar, 100%. But anyways, they had an affair supposedly. Blake and Mikhail or whatever his name is. I was going to say something, but yeah. She is talking about Ryan and Hugh. She likes to be the center of, sorry, yeah, she's talking and she sends it to them. Yeah, maybe. But I don't, you get it, right? Why is she specifying that it's like straight men? And then, because the other part to that is like, so that is not SA. But when this guy wanted to help you with like your dead father or like that is this, I swear I don't know why that point was made, why that was SA or SH or anything that Justin Baldoni, because one of the points was like Justin will not talk about Blake Lively's father or that he can talk to her dead father or something like that. I'm like, how in the world is this on a list of things that are apparently SH or SA? What is going on? This is one of the I keep repeating myself, I keep stuttering, but that is one of the things that kind of gave her away, but yeah. Anyways, so back to this Sandra girl. There's a point that Armie Hammer made because I think he actually backed out of the movie that he was talking about at this time because he said that he backed out of this movie that he was assigned on to because he didn't feel right in his gut about it. And it's interesting because he, after, being unemployed for so long and struggling as much as, he struggles, but I can understand, like, Kevin Spacey's house is in foreclosure, so I can understand that even though they seem like they have quite a lot of money, but bills rack up when it comes to legal bills and things and child support and all the stuff. So, as far as Army child support, at least. But he was saying that supposedly he got this gut feeling. He didn't feel like he wanted to go through with it before they started filming and everything. And they offered him more money, and he was like kind of stumped. But in the end, he still chose to like back out of it because it didn't feel right. And I was like, well, if that's the case, good for him. I don't know if it was that movie, but he's saying that he was saying in this podcast that um, I don't know if he is a Trump supporter or not, but he sounded like it. At least being grateful for um, Republicans or Trump supporters, right wing, whatever, because those are the ones that are more willing to give him a second chance and to give him work, and that are not into cancel culture. And in my mind, I'm like, yes, Army, but like at what cost? Because it's not like they're not into cancel culture, but wanting justice and fairness and, for things to come out into the light and for things to be prosecuted that need to be prosecuted. It's not to the extent of that. It's just like across the board. So a lot of them can get away with a lot of things. So it's a little different. But yeah, like he's a human, so he probably has it. Even in this whole podcast episode, he had like nuanced things. Sklenar, she can talk about his butt. Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, right. Then wasn't there like something about squeezing his butt or something? I don't know. I don't remember. Maybe I'm making that one up. Um, Double standard. If she likes you, then you can do no wrong. But if she doesn't like you, you're suddenly SHing her because you're like, trying to talk to her dead father for her. Like to me, that sounded like something where someone's like trying to like help someone out or whatever. Who knows what she said in that moment, that he's like, oh, I could, do this or whatever. I don't even know if he said that, but if he did, like those people that are like, I mean, I know I'm that person that if I think of something, that if you tell me that you're struggling with something and I believe that I can help with that thing, I will share that with you. Um Now I have to be careful, I guess. I don't believe in talking to dead people. I'm just saying. Um Kanye West came up. Well, and that's all I have about it. Oh my gosh, this is a terrible, terrible recap. But so me. Making God and making my personal thing defining God. That was something I don't remember what that was. Oh my gosh, hold on. Let me see if I can like pull it up. What the heck was I talking about? That is too weird, too crazy. What? Making God and making my personal defining God. What was I saying? What did they say? That is so strange. What This is where you realize that your memory is not as good as you think. You're watching things, you're like, "Oh, I'll remember this. This was impactful. I'll for sure remember." Or I'll type in a quick note and I'll remember what that meant. No.
It is. but it gets thrown so easily if a man is just
Yeah,
being
like
a man.
narcissists. Like,
If a
oh,
man, when
everyone's
a
a
man is
narcissist.
just being a man.
Yeah.
Or like the term mansplaining. Do you see what I'm trying to say?
Sure.
That you can get hated on if you do.
Well, that
Just- that
once it
makes you
started to
anti-
that guy is going through a lot.
massive
and I don't know what it is. I don't know. I
Oh,
mean,
okay, there we go. Here we are with Kanye. Yeah. I am 100% in agreement with Armie. I feel really bad for Kanye. I've said this on my show too. On my show, I can't call this a show, but yeah, on these videos, that I like. I I feel for him as a human being and as a soul. I feel like he is in a lot of pain for, you know, someone to do what he's doing. He's in a lot of pain. But it doesn't excuse it or, any that is not at all what I'm saying. But he
It's the
says
only
something like that
contrast,
too.
right? Basics.
I just feel like, or I don't know which one
You don't
came
know,
first.
yeah.
But I do know that the minute, I mean, I started working right before Trump got elected.
Oh,
But the minute Trump got elected, I started getting more phone calls.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I won't say where I'm at in the political aspect, but
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
but you already started working before him.
I had a job.
So maybe it's the other way, maybe because things are.
But I was given a job by people who are very.
she brings up a good point there, though. I'll say that, was it because Trump got elected that these things are happening, like him getting more job offers? Or is it because society was at that space and that's why Trump got elected, because society was asking for those things and they were going in that direction? I think that is maybe impossible to know for sure. But she brings up a good point that I don't know that he caught on to. Um, but that's where I think she was saying, like, politics wise, she doesn't want to like talk about it because she wants to like keep her brand deals. And I'm like,
Very pro-Trump.
Got it. I understand.
Okay. Conservative and news.
He's just demented.
I mean, look, if I was going to be like an armchair psychologist, I don't know. I mean, now that guy is going through
massive psych,
and I don't know what it is. I don't know. I mean, now he just came out and said that he's autistic.
There's just no. That's.
I don't know. I don't know a lot of. I mean, I have autistic family member, and like I know a bunch of people who are autistic, and they don't wear swastikas.
Yeah.
But like.
See, that's the opposite.
The Kanye album Yeezus. Have you heard that album?
Of course.
Yeezus feels to me like when Kanye started to kind of drift off the planet, where it's like
that was when he did that Easter service at Coachella. Do you remember that?
I think Yeezus was before that.
Yeezus was before.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
and then it was in the middle of a song, like total different beat, total different tone, total different everything. Like it will just change, and it's like.
So what did I say about Kanye? Oh, I just put Kanye West. That was the whole point I made. And then making God, was that? Where did that?
To the mob liking you, because if you want a job, you got to have a writer who is willing to have you do the script. You got to have.
Oh, this was a good point too, where him making this point is not something that I wasn't aware of, and not something that any of us are aware of. We are all aware of this, but that was a high jump with that. But it's something that we don't think about, and especially with the cancel culture kind of aspect, or like him and Kevin Spacey specifically, that quietly got acquitted, and that didn't go anywhere, but somehow we didn't hear about that. He's more vocal about it. He's more in the media, because also I think he's so young compared to Kevin Spacey. But yeah, I do feel so bad for Kevin Spacey. I don't know. It just like kind of broke my heart when I watched that interview of him. But again, not excusing, and he himself did not excuse the things that he did that were wrong, just plain wrong. What was I talking about? What was he saying? Oh yeah. The insecurity, the financial insecurity that an actor has, the job insecurity that an actor has, because he makes a great point, and this is a huge reason why um, I'm a lot more inclined to go towards being a director, also because I have that in me. I have the vision, I see it, I want to like make movies, make a statement with movies, etc., and not just be an actor that's portraying something, which can also be a similar thing, but it's a little different. um but it's also a great point, as far as, especially, in this small, tiny micro market here that we have in Cleveland, although bigger. We do have movies. Superman was filmed here. But in this market, especially, and at this level that I'm at, it's like, if you are a filmmaker, a director, a writer, or something, you can create your own job, more or less. If, especially a director, if you are also able to do cinematography well enough or connect with a cinematographer, doesn't mean you do a great job, but you have more control over your jobs, and getting jobs, because you created yourself somewhat. But as an actor, you're absolutely like tied to being hired as an actor. And on top of that, it's so subjective. You have to look and sound and have the like essence of the character, or like, and also like be good and have a certain good, because what's good for someone might not be good for the other person, as far as like acting skills. So that was like a great point in the podcast.
Have a
Yeah.
director who's willing to work with you, producers who think that you're financially viable, a studio who says, yeah, we'll do that,
Insurable.
an insurance company who will bond you. All of these things have to happen. And if you're in the hot seats and you're being canceled, it only takes one of those to go, not for us. Tyler, the creator, has a very interesting, he had a very funny, he basically said, what the fuck even is cyberbullying? Put your phone down, walk away, it's gone. Like, it doesn't even exist in the
Another controversial statement by Armie Hammer, because I don't know that I agree with that. Um, it's kind of like telling someone in the US, like, just don't have a car. If you can't drive, or you have fear of driving or whatever, just don't have a car. By someone who's lived in like New York City or Europe, where it's like public transportation is huge. But in most of the US, if you don't have a car, if you can't drive, because you have like, sometimes because you're afraid, or there's something wrong with you, like epilepsy, or like narcolepsy, or what is in those things that strike you and you don't know, and literally you're not allowed to drive. When you have like, um if you're like abusing alcohol or whatever, and you're driving drunk or on weed or whatever, and you're impaired. So although people drive on weed all the time, unfortunately, I smell it all the time in the car. And I'm like, just, can you keep this inside your car? I do not want to smell it. Thank you. And I always mention this alongside with, I wanted marijuana to be legal, because of the history that I've learned about it, why it was made illegal, and like mm, biological and medical understanding. Because in my one psychology class, we were all assigned a drug, whether legal or illegal, and I got this one. And so we had to research like the history, what made it illegal, if it was illegal. And like, someone got alcohol and it was illegal at one time, and so like, why? And like, just history of it and the research of it or whatever. And so like, understanding it better, it was like, okay, this shouldn't be illegal. But at the same time, just like cigarettes, I do not want to smell it. Just like perfume. I don't know. Probably I'm like the only one on here. But I cannot do strong perfume with people. And some people, I was at the gym last weekend, and this girl, she didn't even have that strong perfume that has, I think it's the musk in it or something. that really is like instant migraine for me. Instant migraine, super nausea, can't see, like frontal headache. So I don't know if it's like a proper migraine, but whatever it is. And so it wasn't one of those, but it was like just very, very strong. And I'm like, no, you're in a public place. I mean, it was the women's locker room or whatever, but so I couldn't say anything because I'm like, I guess this is where you put perfume on to go into the world. But I cannot do it. So yeah, perfume is absolutely legal and it will always be legal, I think. Um, but it doesn't mean that it's something that you need to impose on others, and you need to be aware. When you go to the hospital, they kind of tell you, sometimes more, sometimes less obvious, like don't wear perfume because you don't know how it affects other people, other patients, but also your caretakers. And if they get this like debilitating sudden, change in eyesight and like focus, and can't focus, they have nausea and headache and can barely see, they're not going to be able to do their job. So, you know, um, but yeah, wow, I deviated on that. But yeah, I would agree to disagree with this one, or yeah, I don't know, I don't, or even maybe not agree to disagree, but just even challenge him on this one because I think it's a very dangerous notion. Or it's kind of like when people say to someone who's depressed, like just get out of bed. Just be happy. Just go on a walk. Go exercise. Get some endorphins. That'll make you happy. And it's like it doesn't work that way. The same with like stress and anxiety. Like, telling my brain at 5 a.m., like just sleep didn't work. It's not like I didn't want to sleep. I wanted to sleep so badly because I've had such bad sleep this whole week. And because I really wanted to be able to do things and to be like just up and running and like to not be deliriously like visually impaired because I'm so sleep deprived or whatever. And so I did not want to be awake, but my body, my anxiety had different plans. So it's kind of like that when someone's saying like just put your phone down and then you have no cyberbullying. But there is also something to that as far as like we are generally too connected to our phones and to what other people say there. And you know there is something to it. I'm not saying that it's completely false. I think we, especially kids, absolutely need to spend less time on, so they shouldn't spend time on social media, I feel, at all. I remember my little brother when he was just like a few years younger and he was like playing games. I would hear him all the time. Now he's hearing me probably talk, but he was playing games in his room and it was like it was fun. It was like during the 2020 time, so no one was like seeing each other. But I do remember like, oh, like I guess that's nice because it sounds the same as when I was hanging out with my friends when I was young and in the world, you know, in the garden or whatever. And but at the same time it is different, virtually. Um and so, yeah, I agree on that level. But yeah, insomnia. Yeah, yeah, I guess. I mean, I think it's a combination because I can't put shows down. I get off of this live. I've not done a live every single day. But whether it's this or I don't do this, but I just go straight into like watching something like Will Trent or Surface now. And for one, I will say I woke up at 5. I'm like, I need a nighttime show because the dreams that I have are constantly about solving these murders or like just solving these cases or mysteries. And it definitely causes anxiety because it's like my brain just keeps going, trying to solve something. And that's kind of where I'm at in real life. So it needs something that is like more it's not about solving. Like everything is solved already, you know. But I don't know, because I finished How I Met Your Father, which was kind of like that, you know, more neutral or whatever. I don't know what to watch. Like that's like just a nice smile. No one's watching nice, you know, soothing bedtime type of shows. This is what I need to like figure out. I need to make bedtime movies and shows for people who watch stuff when they're sleeping. My previous friend, my ex friend, she would say that like she watches, well, she would watch ASMR videos. I cannot do that. I cannot. I don't know if that's like ADHD or I just came across something that was like there's like intersection between autism and ADHD. So yeah, I don't have like autism like um points or whatever, you know, but like sensory stuff comes to mind with that. Like I just cannot, but apparently that's an ADHD thing too. Like I can't do like I don't care about like lip smacking or like chewing food or whatever. I'm okay with that pretty much, but like the bottle stuff, like it's just I think it's just a nervous system thing right now, especially. But it definitely won't put me to sleep. But she found that enjoyable, or just like this kind of, you know, talk. Maybe I mean maybe this could be it too, but when I'm sleeping, I really want to like invoke the emotion of like safety and comfort from what I'm watching. And so it's like more like story time, but it can't be just read to me. It has to be like also acted out. Um so yeah, I don't know. I'll have to figure that one out. But I found my niche kind of. You read a lot when you had insomnia. I can't read though. Like my eyesight, it's really hard for me to read. Um, and with my brain, like it's really, really hard. It would end up being more frustrating. Dude, I don't know. I need that comfort of other people. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna tear up right now. Because I think that's what it is. Like, you know, reading or like having that story, like Calm app had story time or whatever. And it would be these people that, or there are, that read a story. And to me, like, it's not enough because I need one of the things that I'm trying to kind of resolve with watching these shows is not just like my mind to go outside of problem solving mode, but also to like combat loneliness, which I didn't even really notice until like actually now as we're talking about it and thinking about like reading a book. I'm like, no, but I need people. I need to feel like I'm not alone in the room. Like I'm okay, and I've started kind of after I do this live, I started just like not watching something right away and just like having the deafening of silence after you've talked for an hour or four. Um, or like, you know, after I've watched things all day, um, having that silence, you know. Uh, But yeah, I don't know when I'm going to sleep. Yeah, there's definite that. Like I need um to combat that loneliness, so like not having people around with that. So yeah, reading is too silent, it's too inward inside myself. um yeah, but if I would do it, yeah, it would probably also put me to sleep. But I'm trying to find
Real
this
world.
like
But
That's
god
right.
situation, god talk, because I'm so curious what in the world I was saying. And we're almost at the end here, or I'm almost at the end. um
sense.
It is. Again,
Yeah.
easier because a lot of times I knew things mentally,
Mm.
but I never felt.
Mike has a great saying that he says. He says, My God is a DJ that does not take requests, but at the end of the set, I have loved every song.
That makes perfect sense.
And that to me is what not having a personal God feels like, because when you say personal God, I'm now fitting God into what I can understand.
Right.
I'm now taking God and making him my personal thing.
Well, that's what most people do.
Right.
Okay. I'm glad that I went and searched for this, and because this is an important thing when people talk about God, as far as like I'm concerned. When he was having his podcast episode with his mom, and it was absolutely like, God was made into her personal thing.
And that feels like ego to me. It also feels like I'm defining God.
Or it just be the level of understanding.
For sure. For
I
sure.
want to thank God for this Grammy. Like, God didn't give you the Grammy, bro.
Yeah, you worked hard and you got a Grammy. But also this is part of your journey.
It is part of the journey. So,
and like our journeys are not laid out by us. Like when
I mean, talk about nuanced conversation. This is like the nuanced conversations are those when you're like talking in paradoxes, because that's kind of where this is heading. But yes, I feel very personal or strong or whatever. I feel the same about this part. As far as I don't feel like God should be of our own making. That's why I literally have this like icon of Jesus over here. It's not mine. It's just in this room. And I think it was like painted by a family friend, like a friend of my mom's or something. So it's like a special meeting or whatever. But I don't feel like God should be made in our image. I mean, it's said that we're made in the image of God, but I don't think literally. I don't think they're a humanoid being. And I really exceptionally liked when he said like that notion of making God, what in your image, what you think God is, or what you want God to be, or, based on what you think. It's like ego driven, like um praying to God to like give you safety or give you anything or make anyone in your life safe or whatever. It is 100% ego. I mean, I don't think any of us need to like sit on that too long, except like we need to like separate ourselves from the emotional attachment that we have on maybe ignoring that. But yeah so I do like that.
whether it's laid out by math.
Oh yeah, and then the personal journey, and I think they go into Paulo Coelho, and he did not pronounce Coelho right, and it bothered me so much. I don't know why. Like Armie, I was a little disappointed, not gonna lie, because it's so long ago that this book came out, and the whole personal journey, it was something else that you said, I thought, Paulo Coelho. But anyways, I love The Alchemist so much. My favorite quote from that book that still is with me, but I don't know the exact quote, just the paraphrasing of it, was the whole heart fearing thing, where it's like, tell your heart that uh, the fear of, what is it? I don't know, something like the anticipatory fear is greater than, or the pain of the coming from the fear. My gosh, okay, I'm butchering it, and I don't want to butcher it. Paulo Coelho. I want to practice my really tiny existent knowledge of Portuguese. Maybe I should read The Alchemist in Portuguese. the original, I think. Okay. Heart quotes. There you go. Tell your heart that fear. There we go. That fear of suffering. There you go. I was on the right track. Fear of suffering is worse than the suffering itself, and no heart has ever suffered when it goes in search of its dreams, because every second of the search is a second's encounter with God and with eternity. Whoo! Gosh, it came at the wrong time. That hit. Oh, I want to read this book now. That is, yeah, that's how it feels. That's how it feels when your personal legend is the phrasing that Paulo Coelho used, not personal journey. Um, but when you are on your path, when you are in your dreams, people like put that down so much, and I do think, and maybe this is my ego and my bias, but I do think that people put down when you say that you want to pursue your passion, that you want to, you know, have your dream job, that you want to um, do something that makes you happy or fulfilling. Because it's really like about feeling fulfilled, at least to me. When I say I want to do something that makes me happy, it's like about wanting to be fulfilled. Oh my gosh, so cute. Okay, sorry, I have to put my dog up because it's too high for her. Oh, good dog. Oh, good. All right, where was I? So when you're trying to pursue, like right now, I even had like, I mean, it hurts a lot when someone that is on your side supposedly says that. And no matter how much you tell yourself that they're just coming from a hurt place, a place where they didn't get to pursue what they wanted to pursue because of their own roadblocks, mental roadblocks, and emotional roadblocks. No matter how much you say that to yourself, it still hurts and it still creates so much doubt in you that like you're selfish if you pursue something that is meaningful to you and that you feel called to. And that it's not just selfish, but like delusional. And like, who are you to get that? As if like you have to be extra special to be happy or to be fulfilled or to do work that is meaningful or to have a healthy life. Like it's as if someone tells you, like, who are you to think that you deserve to be healthy? It's like tearing me up too. That's exactly like what I was told in by a couple of people throughout the last few years, and it marks you. It like really makes you feel like you're just such a bad person, that you're like just you I feel like I'm asking for the bare minimum, which all of us deserve. I think we all deserve to be loved, to have love, to be happy, to be fulfilled, to be healthy. I think that's a human right. I don't think that makes me a bad person or like someone that needs to be like put down for. So that like this quote kind of like hit me right now in this way because um it says the last part is like every second of the search is a second's encounter with God and with eternity, which might not sound like it's related, but to me it was related because it feels that way. It feels like when you're in the right space, when you are where you're meant to be based on however you want to define that, you feel it in your whole body, in your whole being. And there's this peace that even when you are not there yet, when you are struggling or haven't figured it out, or you don't have enough money, even in those moments, you feel, I mean, he describes it as eternity and God, feeling eternity and feeling God. But I would describe it as like, I mean, yes, um, it just feels like peace. It feels like strength. It feels like it feels the opposite of when you're trying to fit yourself where you're not supposed to be. And that's like the difference. It's because I think a lot of people equate like, oh, you just want to follow your dreams and blah, blah, and not all of us can, not everyone can, or not everyone gets to. And I'm like, but that's a problem. Like, um, I had something else, sorry. It's not like the selfish, something else that came to mind now. Um, like when you're oh, the difference between like hard work. I think people assume that you're not working hard enough if you're doing working in your dream job or whatever. It's that it's somehow easier. And the difference is not the hardship of something or the effort or, yeah, how hard you have to work on something. The difference is how the energy that you get and the cycle of energy or the exchange of energy from doing that thing. You get energized to a certain degree. I mean, obviously we have finite energy anyways, but you get energized and you put more into it and it gets fed more into you, and it's like this good circle, rather than when you're not in that place. It's like the other way. Like it drains all your energy, and then you more take from this instead of put into it. You take more from that job or from that workplace. You take more days off, or you take more like coffee or like, you take more from it. You get more offended or more tit for tat on things. You're taking from it because it's taking from you. And it's like, literally, I just came up with this. I'm 100% sure that I'm not the first person to come up with this. 110% sure. I've just not heard of this before. And I was like, I just came up with it on my own. I like it, you literally live, you saw that. I was like, oh, that's so cool. But yeah, I know I'm 100% not the only person that has said that. Um, but yeah, I mean, that's exactly how it is. So why am I put down by the people that say that they care about me and they care about my well-being? Why am I put down for wanting to like get energy and put energy? This is I'll use this metaphor more when people like in interviews or whenever people ask me like anything that like needs this explanation, because I do feel the sentiment that people look at people that want to do what is fulfilling to them, what they might call, or you might call, or whoever might call as like their dream job, or what they love to do. They get to do what they love to do. Not everyone gets to do what they love to do, and all this stuff. It's like, but I like literally want to work. I want to be able to work. And maybe I'm more stubborn or sensitive, or maybe I'm the same as everyone else, but everyone else just feels like, oh, this is just normal to not feel like you can put into work as much. Or maybe people have just like they're closer to what fulfills them, and they don't know it. And it's not that some people are not fulfilled by a job, or they don't need a job to be fulfilled, and that's fine. um Sadly, right now, that's all I have, and that's all I might have ever. And um also, like, it might be just my journey and my purpose on this planet. um who knows, like, I don't know that anyone thinks like they're the person that, like, will change the world. I don't think I even have time to do anything significant in this world. But I would like to be able to try or contribute and be one more voice to something that believe in so fully, that I want to see more in the world. I don't want to, how people say with these boycotts with Target and stuff that happened or are still happening in some ways. Like, use your money. Your money has power. Where you decide to put your money, where you decide to go shopping, it might seem so trivial or insignificant, but that has so much power, especially to companies who only care about money and they do not care about people. They do not care about the consumers that get their product, and they don't care about the people that work at the end of the day. Some care more than others, but at the end of the day, it's about making that profit, going above that bottom line. Um, and because otherwise they supposedly can survive, and I mean, right now, the way that things are set up, they can't as a company. um so, like, I forget what I was saying. Okay, go to the bathroom. um don't be like me. Oh my gosh, today I went, let's say, at 11, and then I didn't go until 5:30. That's not that much, actually. I've gone more hours without a bathroom break. And this superpower I found in high school, because, you had like at most 10 minutes between classes. I remember that it was like generally just like, I think, 5 minutes. And then between certain classes, I think there was like 10 minutes, or like at one break at noon or something was like longer or something. And yeah, I was like, I'm not, I can't do that. I mean, by the time, like, I just start. Because also I put toilet paper on the seat. You will not get me to sit on the seats that are public. I don't care how many times people tell me, "Oh, but you can't catch anything that way." I do not care. Even if that's true, I just don't want to put my butt where someone else's butt was. No offense to anyone else's butt, and vice versa. I don't see the point in that. I don't see the point in that. So yeah, I will always put toilet paper. I try, but in high school we didn't have, but those like toilet. Welcome back. You just give another topic of toilet talk. Um, toilet talk. That's sounds awesome. Those, like, things that you put, supposedly toilet seat liners or whatever they're called. Does anyone know how to actually use those? Because they, after so many years, 20 years since I've saw this first, I think maybe 25 years, I don't know. For the life of me, I do not know to this day how to freaking make that work. Why is there like that little flap in there? Is that supposed to like hold your poop and stuff? Like, how do those things work? So I will always just put toilet paper. So yeah. So I would go. How much is school? Like, I would go in the beginning like 8, and then until like 4 when I would get home. I would not go to the bathroom. Tissue, yeah. Toilet tissue? No. I think it has a certain name. Um, but yeah. It does, but, like, there's like that flap. So like it lines the seat, but there's also that thing in the middle. And then you're supposed to like perforate it, like, because it's slightly perforated. You're supposed to like put that down. What are you supposed to do with that? Like, how is that going back? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I'm just so confused. I'm so confused. I almost want to pull up this, like, is it toilet liner or whatever? toilet seat covers. Tried too hard. Too hard. Um going from going from Armie Hammer to Paulo Coelho and God, toilet seat covers. See, this is why I want to name my podcast. I mean, I already named the podcast, but I had technically 3 episodes, and I decided this might as well just go on there. Randomosities. This is what I love. These things. Yeah, I see. Like that's what. Okay, I don't understand because this is the thing. That thing in the middle, it always gets the rest of the seat wet because it goes down into it doesn't have like a great yeah, it doesn't have a good one. Oh, they have you can take your own. Um this flap thing touches the water and then it's tissue so it absorbs it and suddenly there's water and also it's pretty much the same thing as sitting on the toilet seat because let me tell you, I put like double ply or like I take toilet paper, I fold it in half and then I put it on top. I do not want to touch that seat, not even a tiny micro nano atom of that seat directly. So um it opens the flap. Okay. Such a weird idea. Such a weird idea. This one it says without manually remove the cover from the seat until put yeah. Yeah, well, yeah, like I said, it just not even enough and also it gets like moist. Bring wipes with me. Yeah, that's a good one, but I still don't trust it's still not it's you can never have too much boundary between you and the toilet seat in arena world. This did you guys you probably didn't watch I was talking about um this one couple in 90 days and the one of them, the American, is not making fun, but like kind of calling someone a hypochondriac and a germaphobe. And so far, besides his partner, taking so it's Sean and Aaliyah, their names. So Sean is kind of making fun, or not making fun, but whatever, of Aaliyah. And Aaliyah, besides taking, 7 HIV tests or whatever in a year, but that's also because like they're in an open relationship that she doesn't want, and she's also a nurse in Brazil, and there's also other things, other considerations that it seems like an American just is not getting that Brazil is not that clean. Just like I can relate with Romania. Like they're clean, but they're not clean. And also, I think Aliyah like grew up or even lived to the time that she came here in the favelas. So yeah, but apparently she's a germaphobe and whatever. Um but she got upset because he left her toothbrush or his toothbrush or a toothbrush, whatever, on top of this thing on top of the sink next to the toilet. And so like when the toilet and I don't know, the seat was probably also not like closed, the cover. But when the toilet flushes, it spreads everything up in the air. It's actually called toilet plume or something like that. So it like spreads everything up in the air. And apparently that news did not reach this Sean guy. And probably a lot of people, I imagine. But yes, do not I just read for contact lenses. I have contact lenses. Um they tell you how to like dump the previous night's um whatever the liquid and then leave it open, but do not leave it in an area that is the same with a toilet, like in a bathroom that has a toilet in the bathroom and not separate. in like a toilet closet thing, because of this. So it's not some crazy quirk and some weird piece of science that like is somewhere deep into the knowledge. This is just something that I don't know. But yeah, so things like that, like yeah, me and toilets. But I think also coming from Romania, where we had to be extra careful as far as like all sorts of diseases and stuff, you take extra caution with cleanliness. And then America is largely like, yeah, you can eat from the floor if it, you know, what 3 second rule, like if it's only been 3 seconds, because it's so much cleaner here in most of the country. So much cleaner. My toothbrush has a cover. There's nastiness in there. Yeah, yeah. Good. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, in my bathroom here, there's also like mold and other things that I do not want. So for the first time, I also have a cover inside. My toothbrush here is cover on inside the like little vanity thing, but like on top of the sink, the little I want to call it armoire, but it's not. Whatever, the shelving unit thing where there's a mirror usually. So, but yeah, I think that was like what I wanted to say about this God comment. And then this, it is when, yeah, this is the part where, um, he not this one, but the next one. He talks about having this Armageddon dream, and like he's almost hoping for Armageddon. He's almost hoping or wishing, but I think it's weird. I should find it. I should not just say that because you might understand it wrongly. Or I mean, you can understand it wrongly even from him speaking. Because at first I was like, what? But basically, this is where I'm like, this guy's a fearful avoidant, and then I got it confirmed. Fearful avoidants thrive in chaos because there's chaos growing up, and chaos is their comfort zone. And a fearful avoidant in chaos or in like emergency moments or whatever, they are very calm, cool, and collected, and they are almost like thriving in it. Not because they're like sadistic or they enjoy people's pain. It's not like that. It's like because that's literally their nervous system was built around that being comforting, because it had to like you know resign to that being comfort. So it's really an interesting phenomenon, and I used to have this, and I thought, oh, it's like literally a superpower, because you want these people in times of an Armageddon. You want these people to be on your side. You want people like that around you. um, if there's like an emergency, if there's a tornado, a fire, a flood, or whatever, um, they because in that moment they're able to think really fast and really like objectively, I guess. um and like they can see like what needs to be done, and they're like, okay, do this, do that, and we do this, whatever. And he talks about this. Good night, Angel. Have a great night. um Thank you for being here. Sorry, this was a not so dancey and upbeat moment, but I appreciate you being here. But he talks about this exactly, like how he wants an Armageddon. When the fires started, I guess he's in LA now, but when the fires started, he had like his like emergency bag or whatever packed by the door all the time, and just he was ready to go. Um and again, like you could almost take this to mean that he wants, or he's like not, at least not caring about other people's suffering, but that's not what is happening. So to me it was like really exciting to like listen to this part. But I can also understand how, um I appreciate that, thank you. How it, I don't know, it was exciting to see it, to hear it, knowing that other side. And I guess I also I don't know, but he says that
in
it's
the
not
future.
like
I don't know if I agree, because I don't know that I actually have anything in the past that I fear. I have
You might be
regrets.
fearless right now.
Oh, that could be true too.
Other.
Mm,
And you really can't.
Mm.
He did it fucking burning hell.
around in my head. Let me just think of how I want to put this.
God, that's very close to God, Armie.
Yeah.
Don't get ahead of your skis.
The solution, people need to breathe, and people need to
Live in the
relax,
present.
and you need to be right.
If everybody,
That the Dalai Lama said that the 12-step program is the best thing to happen to
because you survived,
this is so weird, like doing this, skipping through.
or because you knew how to survive.
No, because I'm just in it, and I'm in the mental path in my life.
No, but like that also works in your favor. I mean, if there's a
Also, the vape. I'm like, why? Why? Just some points lost.
if the shit hits the fan and there's Armageddon, you already know.
Oh, I'm so ready.
You're so ready.
I am so.
You already have the worst case scenario prepared and ready to tackle.
I don't dream very much. I just don't. Maybe I'm not a good sleeper.
But you were sober.
Yeah.
But not anymore.
When I first got sober, my dreams were crazy.
Oh.
And then they stopped. And now I really don't, I don't remember my dreams. I know that I dream. I just don't remember my dreams when I wake up. But for most of my life, the most common recurring dream that I have is that I am in a post-apocalyptic Armageddon.
No way.
And I'm
Armageddon?
An Armageddon. And I'm
Hold on.
Oh God. No. Wrong sound.
That was too good to pass up. I'm glad that she caught on to that. She was like fast with that. Have you guys had a recurring dream? I've had a couple. I've had the recurring dream to like scream. Like I was kind of like an X-Men and I was like just screaming, and it was like a force because I feel helpless and weak. And then I have this other dream of I've had a flying dream a couple of times. But the one that I remember was tsunamis. I had a bunch of tsunami dreams at one point, like a lot. And they didn't all mean the same thing. But yeah, those were my recurring dreams. Lately, I do not remember my dreams. This is how like not in a good place I am, because I do not remember my dreams. And I used
Carrie has a
to.
soundboard now.
Oh my God, that's amazing. I wish we could hear that.
I've been trying to get it. Armie won't let me.
My dad joke.
Okay, so
Fucking, I can come up with.
I'm living.
Do you really want to spend the rest of your life?
My gosh. So you have the same one like him, Maria, the world-ending apocalyptic. So interesting. How do you feel about that? Are you kind of like what he's describing, that you're like ready to go? Romantic. What do you mean? Is that romantic, or you have romantic dreams?
Just be a man. There's dogs everywhere. So simple. All I have is a fucking machete and a dog, and I'm walking around. I don't know. I found a dog. It's apocalypse. There's dogs everywhere.
Yeah, I'm thinking at this point, like, did he play Fallout? There's a dog in that. The same thing. Apocalypse, world ends, and somehow the character has a dog best friend. And then also I Am Legend, but I haven't seen that movie. You feel scared about that, so that makes you scared. Yeah, he's opposite. He's like, just bring it on. Yeah, I had my dreams felt fear-based as well.
So, but I'm living in a world where I get to just be a man, and like I'm big and I'm strong, and like if I need something, I'm gonna take it. And if someone tries to confront me in the apocalypse, not a chance. Not a chance. I'm not saying I'm gonna fuck everyone. I'm saying I'm gonna steal your guns.
You're gonna be like a caveman,
like,
bringing.
Maybe. I mean, I wouldn't rule it out. Where are you gonna be in the apocalypse? So, but
That's
the thing is
like
like
uncomfortable.
that chaos, but that simplicity, that focus, a vision of like the only point now is to survive by any means necessary.
Which is so interesting. It goes so perfect. And when he said that, I was like, fearful avoidant. Because the interesting thing is, thriving in chaos, but like, as he described, like, not needing to have all of this other, like, I need to be pulled in this direction and that direction and that direction and that direction. I don't know, I can make sense of it at this moment, but I'm like, oh my gosh, I wonder if he's that. And I think the next part they talk about just that.
That sounds amazing.
When these fires,
That's a cool dream. No
these
wonder you
fires-
remember it.
when these fires were going on, like I myself in your house, like
Nah,
people
I thought
Of
protection
course,
and like the loss of property and the loss, like something that you don't want to run into practice.
right? But
And
there's a part of you.
I have a loose grip on enjoying the simplicity and boredom of life. Sometimes I'm like, this boredom is serene. Like
Right.
I'm bored because nothing's on fire. That's great.
Right.
But most of my body goes, I want the Armageddon, which, you know,
Sorry, and that was like,
And it's
body took practice.
The calm,
Yeah, that you want on your side, and also the person that you don't want to run into in that situation.
It's interesting because you were like a moment ago, you were saying how much you enjoy the calm, Venice, simple life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that took practice.
Right. But
And
there's a part of you.
I have a loose grip on enjoying the simplicity and boredom of life. Sometimes I'm like,
so yeah, that was like my confirmation moment. Like, okay, yes. Which also made me think like, oh darn. But he does not sound. He was saying something else that I won't keep playing it. But he said something else at one point that was like, I don't think he did any attachment style therapy. And actually, this one therapist that I've kind of sort of seen lately, but not that much because she doesn't do like pay scale. So, but she was, we were talking about my attachment style coaching, and she's like, "Oh, you can actually go to therapists and like present, do a presentation for them to like either refresh their memory, or they might just not know about attachment style, because different therapists have different specializations in things." Sorry. And so I was like, I didn't even think about that because I just assumed, therapists know this stuff. But I mean, that's true. Different therapists are specialized in different things. They learn different things. They focus, they connect with different styles and different theories. So I was like, oh, okay. And then when I saw this, I think this was after we had that conversation, or maybe it was before, and I'm seeing it now. I don't remember. But either way, now I'm thinking like, oh, okay, yeah. So like for someone like him, he might have benefited from that. But he understands it. He understands because he says at one point that his childhood was chaos. So he is comfortable in chaos. That's his comfort zone. Um, we would say subconscious comfort zone. And so yeah, it's just so much that he talked about that, about in there. But that was like what I gravitated to. I'm like, oh my gosh, tell me more, this is so cool. But he also talked about the whole like being a man. And I mean, I would say that a lot. I don't genderize. Even in this, I don't think it's correct, like the genderization of it, because I think for me too, like, oh my gosh, part of me is like, if I can only just be a human being and just be me, and I don't need to like be so many different things that society is expected of me, that I need to be like, to have attention to detail, or to like, I don't know, it's just like the stupid things that you read and job, what do they call that? Not applications, descriptions, job descriptions, that you're like, why do I need to be all of these things? I can offer like really good stuff too that's not on that list, or it's partially on that list, but some of this is contradicting that or whatever. So that was like my take on that. But yeah, yeah. To each their own. I wouldn't want to be a survivor. Romantic dream, but his face is blurry. Oh, okay. Interesting. I wish I had that. I have not had that. I wouldn't want to be do you, are you married? Do you have someone? Is this like someone that you're dreaming that you have to meet? Or is this just like, or like this was the dream before? I wouldn't want to be a survivor. I wouldn't know how to survive. Yeah, I mean, food wise or medical. Yeah, nah, most of us don't know. I don't know that he knows even truly to survive, but he is up for the challenge. But I think a lot of us have been so heavily domesticated. We're like these birds, that I have that are not here. Obviously, they're sleeping, but they're so domesticated, they wouldn't know how to like survive in the wild. And yet when some people let them go, there's some that survive and make it work and find their way to food, seeing other birds, what they're eating, trying that out or whatever. um and yeah. But we're definitely really domesticated. Who knows? Hopefully, we don't get to find out. As much, I'm not on his side. That I do not hope for an Armageddon. I do not. Generally, I don't hope for that. um, my baby, when I have the flu, me too. I'm running to the emergency room to heal quicker. Yeah, I used to be like that, and then I gave up on the medical system, also because of money, but also because they were not very helpful. But I used to go immediately to like the doctor to like tell me what's wrong or how to fix it or whatever. Recently with my physical therapy, same thing. I wanted to do it right. I wanted them to tell me, and then they sucked. This guy sucked at least. And so I just booked, and I hopefully won't regret this, but I just booked an appointment on Monday with my massage therapist that I sporadically go every now and then. And can't wait. Can't wait. I don't He's not going to, fix the issue, but he does like um I forget what manipulation of your like body. So I don't know if he can realign me, but I know that I need at least like some muscles loosen up so I can stretch and do some alignment stuff. But that's what I went to this physical therapy stuff about, because they're supposed to look at me and see, okay, flat feet, misaligned, unaligned, this, that. I told the guy that I had a misalignment with like my pelvic, like posterior tilt situation. He's young, so maybe he's just in that kind of like, oh, I think I know everything because by the book, whatever. Doesn't know that other people also know stuff. And he's like, but that's natural to a certain degree. I'm like, yeah, but I know it's not for me. I know it's exaggerated for me. I've not had it this bad before. And it's causing me a lot of lower back pain. And these issue that you're trying to fix with the hip, like, it's like he skipped ahead to like the strength training, but didn't fix from the beginning, the issue from the beginning. So it's like, okay, yeah, take matter into my own hands. I'll become like Armie Hammer. Give me a medical Armageddon. I'm ready. I'm ready. That I feel confident about. I'm a baby. Yeah. But yeah, when I'm sick, oh my gosh, in December I got so sick, like 103 fever, which I've never had. I've not never, but I haven't had in my adult life. Um, and I was definitely like, just I didn't have people to take care of me like I was a baby, but yeah, I'm definitely like a cat or something, just like whiny and just want to be like hugged and like, I don't know, loved when I'm sick. I need to learn how to use IVs and medication. Oh, okay. I know how to grow vegetables and fruits. I can't harm an animal for food. Yeah, books I read. I fall asleep with audiobooks. Oh, yeah, that's cool. That's where the romantic dream comes from. Um, yeah, I mean, that makes sense. That's in that sense, I have these like dreams that I'm solving these mysteries and these. Oh my gosh, last in these shows, last night I had a horrible feeling. You know, when you're like waking up and the dream wasn't bad when you're like writing it or saying it, but you feel it just yucky. That was my dream last night. So that's why I need to like switch up what I'm watching, like you're reading. Mine was with my old apartment. I dreamt that I broke into my old apartment and I was just like chilling there, and I didn't realize that it wasn't my apartment anymore until someone, I think my ex actually, he somehow like some voice told me like, this isn't, you don't live here anymore. Some other people live here anymore. And I was like, no, no. And then I started seeing like different layout and different things in the apartment. I was like, oh crap. And then I had already spread out my stuff. And it was like kids were coming home from school. So it's like, oh, people are coming home soon. And I had to gather all my stuff. And it was so weird and so awkward. It was such a weird random dream. Um, I dream mysteries too. Do either of you dream like it could be a movie kind of dream if you would like write it down, like a full on whatever movie, like romance, or my stepfather used to dream like sci-fi, like Star Trek episodes or whatever. My house are always mansions and large acres. Nice. Well, I mean, I guess it depends. If it's like a scary mansion and large acre, then not so nice. But if it's like a romantic mansion and acre, like, frolicking in the fields or like horse riding, with your lover, whatever. Um, I don't know which one it is. Let me know as I'm getting to my final point of this. Bad boys. Why else are they in every attractive role? That didn't make sense. That phrase did not make sense. Romantic. Okay, good, good. Yeah. Um, do you watch Bridgerton? Have you watched Bridgerton? That's what it makes me think of now. I'm excited because I foolishly auditioned. You guys get to see. Probably no one's going to watch this far out. Maybe like the rest of the pack might rewatch it on replay, um but you guys get this inside scoop that I'm kind of ashamed to share, but not anymore because it's been a year almost. But I did audition for Bridgerton for the role that was already taken by someone else before I even thought of auditioning, probably. Sounds familiar. You should. I think you would like it. I might watch it, but it's like I think more action. Well, no, not necessarily. I loved the previous season. I think the third season the most. Is it the second one? I don't know. Whatever the last season was, this past summer with Colin and Penelope. So each season focuses on a couple, and they're like, I forget how many children in this family. So it's like each season goes, because it's like based on a book, each season goes with one child of the family coupling up. And yeah, I love the Colin and Penelope, the best make out, like first make out moment. There's some, I love music. So for me, like if you get the music with the moment perfect in the way that it just like gives you chills and like transcends you and you're like, you're not even on this planet, you won me over. Paradise had that in episode 5. And then Bridgerton for completely opposite different reasons. But yeah, beautiful, beautiful moment between the two of them. And I think just after that, I'm like, you can't do no wrong. But yeah, it was a really cool season, but it's really good. But I've talked, just I think I mentioned it one other time, about like talk about intimacy coordinator and consensual and all that stuff. Uh, this show, this is why I talked about it, because they had, I think they had two intimacy coordinators on It Ends With Us. Either way, one was from Bridgerton. So I was like, this person was not screwing around. This person knew their intimacy coordinator stuff. So don't give me that they didn't have, good intimacy coordination or whatever, because they know that if they worked on Bridgerton, they know their stuff. It's like, I just got scared of something. Netflix. It's on Netflix. Um, I don't even know if it deserves an analogy, but like, feel like it's an analogy of its own. But like, just think of anything where there's like someone that's an expert in whatever field, and like you're asking them for, gosh, I can't think of like a good thing. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, it's a Netflix show. I mean, it doesn't suck, whatever, potato potato. There's so many streaming things. Um, yeah, it's just Netflix. Sorry. Maybe another time. But it is really wonderful. Oh, do they? I don't pay for my Netflix. I'm under my family's Netflix. I only pay for Miramax or Maximax or whatever they're called, because I wanted to watch Nickel Boys, and that was the only platform that had it, and I forgot to cancel it. And then I pay for Apple TV because of Ted Lasso. And I was like, I'm keeping it. I had like, the 3-month trial, and I think I still am in that. I think April is the first month or is it May where I have to pay, but it's like some minimum thing. But yeah, I don't know. There's so many streaming things. But that one I think is exclusive with Netflix. It's a Shonda Rhimes Netflix kind of exclusive situation. It's created by Shonda Rhimes. 99 cents for Hulu. What? Really? How do you pay 99 cents for Hulu? I didn't know about Walmart and DoorDash. Do I have Cinemax? I've not been able to do door dashing, but yeah, I don't I can't pay for door. Like I've ordered I think once or twice. It's so expensive, and I refuse to not give tips because I have door dashed, and so I'm like, no, I can't do that. Oh wow, that's like awesome. That's awesome. My family also has Disney and Hulu together, the combo, so I don't pay for that either. That's awesome. Um, and then Prime, sorry, I pay for Prime because I have, if you have Amazon, you have Prime. But I think there's like two versions, or I don't know. I have just the one that comes. But yeah, oh, but I wish that you would have Netflix. If you ever go back to Netflix, if you get like a special deal or excuse me, or whatever, definitely remember to check out Bridgerton. Or, I don't want to point you in any other direction, but there are other ways maybe to get it. I don't know, actually, because it is quite like, I feel like a closed kind of project or whatever. But yeah, I didn't say that. I didn't say anything. I like to tip well, so I don't like to drive. Yeah. Um, wait, you don't like to drive, so you do DoorDash, but you like to tip well, right? That's what he said. Um, yeah, it's so hard to find someone that doesn't have Amazon Prime nowadays. But the last point here with Armie Hammer, just to like wrap it up, and we can talk or not talk after, but just to like you know cross it off finally. Um, she mentions, because she starts talking about dating, or they start talking about dating and whatever. But she mentions at one point that bad boys are like, everyone loves a bad boy. Like women just love bad boys. Why else are they in every attractive role in every movie? And I'm like, I don't remember liking bad boys. And and even in movies, I liked Christian, Ewan McGregor in Moulin Rouge. He was not the bad boy. Literally. 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 Um, he was like my crush. Who else have I liked? I don't even remember who I used to like. And lately, to be honest, like Armie Hammer was kind of like a tiny crush for like a second. Um, and then it stopped because yeah, it was more like you're just like fascinating and stuff. So, but I haven't had a crush in so long, so I think that's why like it entered that territory. But he's definitely not my crush now. No offense, but so much about him is not my type. Um, but that's also the thing, because I don't like a bad boy. I don't like that. I don't know. And now more than ever. But I remember like even when I met my ex, I remember like just how excited I was for like the goody gooey stuff, which yeah, I guess I wasn't before, but not because I wanted like a bad boy, but because I felt like I was a bad girl. Like I was someone who was like harsh with her words, and independent, um and not so like, you know, flower kitty melting kind of person. And so that's how how I saw things. But yeah, I don't know. Ewan McGregor was like my crush for a long, long, long time. Long before he divorced. Um Love Actually, like, I mean, I don't know who I didn't like in that one. So I guess you can include like bad boys, like Hugh Grant. I would say it was a bad boy in that one. Um, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. What about you guys? I can't even think of movies and things. Oh gosh. And now recently, like I don't find any of these people like crushing, like I'm crushing on them. I just remember like Ewan McGregor. Yeah. But yeah. And like with my relationship too, like I wanted to like I did not like bad boy stuff. So I don't agree with this, but it's annoying when people make these generalized statements. Like we're all just thinking the same thing, and by gender especially, but it's not true. And so she points to him like, like you wouldn't, like to be called nice, to have someone say like, oh, he's nice. And he's like, no. And I'm like, but that's a you problem. They're talking about ego before. Like, that's a you problem. That's not because that's like manly and feminine, masculine and feminine kind of things. Ako mo, let's stay. Ako mo po. She's looking at me. Can you put me up on the bed because I'm sleepy and this bed is really tall? Have you night? Have you night? Have you night? Have you know? Have you? Have you? Um, and yeah, because she says, would a man like to be called nice? Um, but that's not saying anything about women's preference. It's like, how people say like women wear makeup for other women, not for men. It's kind of like that, like men don't like to be called nice because they are indoctrinated. I'm using this word because it's so late and it came to my mind. I don't think that's a word I usually use for a reason, but they have been indoctrinated or whatever into thinking nice is derogatory for a man. Um, but there are men who feel that they would prefer to be called nice. They don't want to be called something else. And there are women who don't want a man who's not nice. So yeah, I think maybe they should date these two. Because they I'm joking though, but um yeah, this is like they match on this. Um I literally put you in like this. It said, I don't think I was ever attracted to a bad boy, a bad guy. One of my crushes was Ewan McGregor when he was married happily. Yeah. So that's where I stand on this. Finally can cross this one off. Oh, so glad. Oh goodness, so glad. Oh my gosh, just my dog. Um my first job at 13. Now I have my own business. Don't like that. Nice. I wish that I was that boss, mm, boss woman, boss lady, just boss. I'm recording my dog because she gave up and she's so sleepy. I can't. I don't have the confidence to like turn the camera around, even though it's my laptop. But this is her just like staring and waiting. Literally, the last frame is exactly how she stayed. So I'm gonna go soon, but um, yeah, I like manly men, but not bad boys. Yeah, looks are not a priority, but wouldn't mind. Um, oh yeah, she's she's struggling. Have you night? Have you night? Have you night? Have you? Have you? Good dog. Good dog. Oh boy. All right. She's like, why? What's happening? I wanted to go to that bed, not here. um, I love, good guys are so I think people misunderstand when people talk about good guys, bad boys, good boys, whatever, um, to mean like secure, insecure. And they also misunderstand security with and confidence with like cockiness and stuff. Um, and so yeah, I that is like the most attractive, like a man who is a man, who is good, who is so like secure and confident, and that is only someone who's good. If you're not good, you're not confident and secure truly. Um and yeah, yeah, I don't know how to say it, but yeah, I agree. Um Anyways, so that was the Sandra Vergara. Um, I didn't want to make the assumption. I didn't do my research that they were related. I thought they weren't, and whatever. But I guess they are. Her and Sophia. And this was like a better topic than I imagined. I think, or maybe not. Thanks to the chat. Thank you guys for being here and for staying up with me too. Um, it's 2 o'clock. Oh my gosh. Sorry. did not did not anticipate that. But yeah, probably going to sleep. This is a new bed, so I might sleep better because it's not just the same old bed. Um yeah, too. Oh boy. Sorry to keep you guys, but thank you. Thank you for being here. It's probably not a good thing. I don't know. But it helps, especially when I'm like having like a day like I had today or whatever. Like it helps, that I come on here and I get to like interact with you guys, and we get to chat about, I mean, we've talked about so many different things. Um and yeah, I don't know. It's time for bed for sure, Maria. Yeah. Someone's already sleeping. She's like, okay, fine. I can't make it to the bed, but I can just sleep here. She's so puffy. She just came from the groomers today, so she's really, really puffy. I'm so glad, Maria. You forgot about your bad day. Same. I love that. I love like mutual help. What is it called? I can't think of the word that I'm trying to, or the term that I'm trying to think of. Um, I love that. That's that's the stuff that I want to do, in life, is if I can contribute to someone else's, happiness, it means a lot. So I'm glad. And same. I forgot about my day, period. Like, it's nice. It's nice coming on here. Well, but time to go to bed now, and oh gosh. See you guys Monday, maybe. Um it's weird not knowing what will happen on Monday, what we'll talk on Monday, but um yeah. I might still do the 90-day on Sunday, but I know, you guys don't watch that. The time flies though, right? Yeah. It absolutely flies. Can't believe it. But it's been nice. It's been fun. It's been really nice. I loved tonight. Fridays are generally like awesome. And Mondays. Wednesdays are like, we're all trying to get through the rest of the week, I think. Thank you so much. And I know I saw someone else came and joined. Um, have a wonderful night, and I'll see you guys later. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. See you Monday. Peace, love, and compassion. Bye.